Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning.
Tickets to give away to see Hardy, who's going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater in Rogers on next Thursday, I should say. Tickets available, amptickets.com. We've got listener emails. We've got to tell the truth. And we're still taking your submissions. I believe this is the last week to submit for Toast to Our Troops. We want to know a vet that you want to acknowledge. Or maybe you're a vet. You want to acknowledge yourself. Totally acceptable.
Absolutely.
Go to the website that rocks, KMOD.com, and submit all the pertinent information. If we get you on the air to Toast Our Troops, we'll hook you up with a case of Shinerbach and dinner for two at Mondo's Italian Restaurant in the heart of Brookside. Again, KMOD.com, click on the contest page. So, a crazy story coming out of Memphis this morning where apparently Graceland is in foreclosure.
Really?
You ever been to Graceland, Lindsay?
Never.
It's cool and bizarre at the same time.
It's expensive AF.
Yeah.
I was going to go when I went to Tennessee was a couple years ago, and I got to look because I figure why not? I've always driven by it, but I've never actually been. And I'm like, why not? And then I saw the prices, and I said, that's why not.
Like, how much were you expecting it to be?
Oh, I was expecting maybe, 20, 30, maybe $40. And I think that's how much it is to, like, just to get you in the door. If you want to see anything extra, I think I saw prices in there that was 70, 80, $100 or more. And I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, just to get in to just like the building, the Memphis, and then the planes, anywhere between $28 and $50.
Yeah.
And then they have different levels after that.
They're good.
And then for the extra, you get to see his property, his personal house, and
Well, no, I mean,
tour.
I believe Graceland and the planes are one, like the 28 to 50. And then they have other tiers
Oh, okay.
to experience other things if you're a giant fan.
Wow. It's a lot. It is a lot.
I don't know of another musical persona that has something like this.
Yeah. Inside the Graceland Archives, the UVIP tour, anywhere from $217 to $240. The Ultimate VIP tour, $202 to $225. No, thank you.
So the first one that Gimpy mentioned that was super expensive, you get the mansion tour with an expert guide,
Ooh.
self-guided tour of his custom jets, which aren't big it's
No.
full access to the Elvis Presley Memphis Entertainment Complex, which includes the Presley Motors Automobile Museum, the Elvis the Entertainer Career Museum, the Making of Elvis movie exhibit, and self-guided tours of the Elvis Discovery exhibit. So those are all different things.
But you get all that, and you still can't go upstairs.
Right? They've never allowed anybody upstairs.
No, nobody upstairs in his personal bedroom or to go see the crapper that he died on, which is what everybody wants to see.
I know, right?
Come on.
Plus, you get access to view and ask questions about archival work being done by the Graceland Archives team, access to the Ultimate Lounge and exclusive VIP exhibit, options to purchase special merchandise. I'll read that again for you. Options to purchase special merchandise only available to the ultimate guest, exclusive photo opportunity, personal Graceland Archives show and tell session, and a keepsake pass. I'm going to go ahead and say this to everybody. If you buy something and there's a plus part, it's BS. It's all crap. Because they would have included it in the normal.
Right. And the sad thing is there's people out there that actually pay that price. What did I say it was? $217 to $240.
Yeah.
For all that, because they're such Elvis fans, marks. Which I get it. Be a fan. That's all right. But to me, that's just too much.
He died nearly 50 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
He's been gone 50 years. There are the majority of people, like if you were born the year he died, you'd be 50, almost 50, 45, 46 years, something like that.
Yeah.
You'd be almost 50 and never have seen him perform ever.
No, except for whatever videos that are on the TikTok or the YouTubes or whatever.
So your desire to go and see his stuff is only based off other people's influence. Mm-hmm. To me, it's a very bizarre thing. There have been plenty of highly influential musicians like Elvis. I know he's the king. I'm clear on his place in music history.
Yeah.
But there are other people that are also pretty big in the music history section.
That have something like this?
No.
There's
Right.
no one like it.
Yeah, you're right.
Who else would have something like that? I mean, or should. I guess Prince. They're going to, though.
Much to Gimpy's chagrin, the Beatles.
Yes, absolutely,
Right.
100%.
Right? And they don't have anything. Yeah, you can go to Abbey Road Studios, but it's the Abbey Road Studios.
Right. I went to the Sun Studios there in Memphis while I was there. Didn't go inside and take a tour.
A big waste of time.
Yeah, that's what I figured. A big waste of money. I just went and I peeked through the window. I was like, oh, that's cool. Took a picture outside. That was that. I didn't need to spend. I didn't even check to see how much that was. You know, I was just like, came, I saw, I picked. Have a nice day.
And they say they're going to do that with Prince. I don't think it's going to have the same thing. Because the difference between Prince and Elvis is when Elvis was alive, people would hang out outside of his mansion. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen with Prince.
You don't think that did?
Not like it did with Elvis.
Probably not.
Not even close.
Yeah, probably not like that. But I'm sure there were some mega fans that would kind of stalk and hang outside.
Like one?
Small handful.
Maybe.
I think people would go and take a picture outside his house just to say, this was Prince's house.
But
or
his
this
house
is Prince's
weird
house.
looking, right? It's like
Purple.
Without, yeah.
Purple.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Right.
To me, I don't see that being. It could be a thing, I guess, but not nearly what Graceland is and has become. You want to go see his planes?
Right. I want to see the crapper that he died on. I don't know why. It's a toilet. I know,
Right.
but still.
Keep in mind, he's been gone longer than he was alive.
Mm-hmm.
Alive, not like when he was famous. The duration of time he was famous is half the time that he's been gone.
Oh, my God. If you want to go to Paisley Park, right, and see Prince's house, it can cost you anywhere. $75 is the bare minimum for the Paisley experience. Mm-hmm. If you want the ultimate experience, it's going to cost you $200. And the Paisley experience, you get the 90-minute Paisley experience tour, main floors of Paisley Park, including studios where Prince recorded, produced, and mixed some of his biggest hits. A massive soundstage concert hall where he rehearsed for tours and held exclusive private events, served pancakes after basketball.
Right.
NPG Music Club where Prince held countless late-night performances. Oh, and by the way, there's no children under the age of 7 allowed.
That means there's penises
Right.
Yeah.
and boobs.
The VIP experience. It's a 2-hour VIP. That includes.
God, I hate that word.
Right. A 30-minute longer tour. Oh, God. Access to additional.
It's wider.
Right. Access to additional content rooms and studio areas, a showcase of additional artifacts from archives, a unique and exclusive photo opportunity, and there's no children under the age of 10 allowed on that one.
But then, will that all go away, that tour, when they turn it into the Airbnb?
Maybe, I don't know. How awesome would it be, though, if, like, you rent it out as an Airbnb and then they got, like, a tour guide coming through. Like, don't mind him. This is Steven. He rented it out for the night.
My understanding is the Airbnb thing is that's just a short-lived thing they're doing for a promotion for Airbnb. It's not going to be a permanent thing.
I see.
And I guess I kind of have the attitude of if you're a music fan, you should go to Graceland and see it. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool from a standpoint of like a museum. And I would imagine Paisley Park is too.
Yeah.
You know, like we have the church studio here. It's cool.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty
is.
badass, yeah.
It's really cool. And to know that that's here is really, the Woody Guthrie Museum's really cool.
Right. Do they do tours at the Neverland Ranch?
Oh, I don't think so.
How bad would it have to be? How bad does an artist have to have done something for you to be like, ooh, we can't have a tour of their facility?
I don't know. I think molesting young children might have to.
I don't think he was found guilty of that.
No.
Right. No, never found guilty. But we all knew.
But that, again.
All right, let me rephrase that.
O.J. Simpson
Not
was still out
guilty.
signing autographs.
Right. We all had our suspicions.
I mean, if Gary Glitter had a house you could go visit.
Why? Of all people, Gary
I'm
Glitter.
just saying. Well, I mean,
he had one song.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm just saying that, like, how bad does somebody have to have done something? Because Prince, are they going to show where he, did oxys?
Right.
Right.
See,
Are they going to show where Elvis did drugs?
Right. To answer your question, I don't think there's anything that's too bad that would prevent people from visiting or touring a spot. And I say that Auschwitz.
That's different.
You know,
That's
such
you're
horrible
not,
things there.
Yeah, but you're not going to honor.
Right, I get that. I get that.
Because you're a big Hitler fan.
Some people, but your point's
You're
proven.
doing it you're doing it incognito.
Right.
You
Your
do
point's
that.
proven, yeah.
Yeah, you do it there to honor the people whose lives were taken
Right.
wrongfully.
And I totally get that. But the question of how bad does something have to be for people
No.
to
How
not-
bad is a celebrity?
A celebrity, okay.
Yeah, for you
Okay.
to honor them.
That's a little different than I guess. So, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe there isn't. Maybe there isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
If you're a fan, you're a fan.
Yeah. And people are going to go.
I mean, people love Chris Brown. He's still selling albums and selling out arenas.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think he's a POS.
He is.
So the Graceland foreclosure thing, apparently Lisa Marie took out a loan and didn't pay it. And so they put a lien on whatever she put down as collateral, which was Graceland.
Wow.
And then she died. And so the people that had the loan are calling it due. And then Lisa Marie's daughter is calling.
Priscilla, not Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie is the daughter.
Right.
Priscilla is Elvis's wife.
Correct. But
Okay.
Lisa Marie had control.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
And the daughter, Riley Keough, is like, who's a great actress, is like, my mom never took out loans.
Uh-oh.
So either Riley didn't know
Right.
or somebody's trying to scam Graceland.
Ooh.
I think that the kid didn't know, to be honest with you.
I think if you went down a rabbit hole, she may not have, but I think there were other people that were involved. They're like, your mom never took out loans. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't a two-person operation.
Right, absolutely. And maybe they just say that to, keep her mom in good standing views. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You know, nobody wants to think of their parents.
There's a
as
legality
POS,
part there that I don't know if that would, maybe, who knows. But the thing that is also bizarre is go look how easy it is to put a lien on something.
Right.
And if you want to get money, you could just put a loan on, like it's almost like squatting. You can just go, oh, that's mine. I'll just put a lien on it. And then you've got to get your pay.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about how easy some of that stuff is. It should be really hard to put a lien on something. Also, you should get your money.
So how come if Priscilla's still alive? Because that's where my confusion
Yeah.
was with you. Because you're like Lisa Marie, and I was like, that makes sense. Then I was like, if she's still alive, how come Lisa Marie got control of everything and then lost it? But I mean, if she's a little cuckoo, then
But were they
I
still
think-
married?
Who?
Priscilla.
and Elvis,
No.
and
No.
he died a long
Yeah.
time ago.
No, but they still stayed super close. And so, because she was really young.
Right.
For those that don't know,
Yes.
because I love to tell people this and ruin it. When Elvis served in the military and he was stationed in Germany, the the person in charge of that location was a giant Elvis fan and pushed his daughter onto Elvis. And Elvis was like, thank you very much. And she was 13, and her name's Priscilla.
Well, listen, it was a different time, Corbin.
Sure.
It was a different time.
Yeah, I love that. Now we're like celebrities. And then when you talk about old things, you're like, it was a different time.
They'll be saying the same thing 30, 40, 50 years from now.
I don't know. I hope I'm alive to see it, but things are going a circle. But so I think, and then she had control, and then she kind of got at odds, and then Lisa took control, and then now it's Riley has control.
Maybe, because it's in foreclosure.
Just Graceland, not the. Hold on, I don't want to misspeak here. Not the Elvis Discovery exhibits or the Entertainer Career Museum.
It's not all under the same umbrella.
Well, it is under the name of a company, but the property of Graceland apparently is what is in foreclosure.
Some mogul will buy it up and continue to have it open for the public to go in there because they know that people want to see it.
Somebody texted in some things. Dollywood for Dolly Parton. Different. It's not her house. I mean, she says it's her childhood home area or whatever, but she built a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's something to do.
Yeah.
Other than just see.
One guy used to hang out at John Lennon's house. That's true.
Yeah.
Another one. I saw R. Kelly's place. Lots of plastic on the furniture for some reason. Okay.
God.
Another one. Only kids 10 and under are allowed at Neverland.
Oh, no. Terrible. That's terrible, man.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Continues next.
And beer.
Nice.
I mean, cash, I've done that. I've tipped the trash people. The problem is they're not always the same people on every route.
Right.
And then, so I'm thinking them, for the one time they did? I don't know. But to tip beer, I don't know if they drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're just assuming at that point, and then they take it anyway just because of the gesture. Oh, thanks.
Right,
I'm
and throw it in the trash.
alcoholic,
Yeah.
They're like the rich people who throw away new shoes.
Right.
Yeah. Brand new electronics. My friend's dad was a garbage man, and when he would pick up from places like Walmart, Best Buy, if they had TVs or PlayStations, any type of electronics, laptops in the garbages, he'd bring them home. He had friends that would fix them, and we'd get new electronics. Not bad.
I know a lot of people have done that.
Yeah.
Go dumpster diving and find stereos and TVs and stuff.
Yeah. Hospital biohazard waste. I ran a large trash hauling company in Georgia for 3 years. I can't tell you how many times hospitals threw their bio waste out to save on disposal fees. It got so bad the landfill ended up reporting them to big fines.
In this state, you can take a thing of syringes, and as long as it's in not a Sharps container, but a container that cannot be punctured, like a thing of laundry soap, you can just write Sharps and then throw it in the trash.
Huh. How about that?
Someone texted in, I work for waste management. It does happen often. Homeless and crackheads sleep in the cans that I pick up, and it is cray-cray. Yeah. So anyway, one man's trash isn't always another man's treasure.
Overwhelmingly, you gave us garbage. Thought we'd do a little fill-in-the-blank news. I'll read part of a headline, leave part of it out. If you can guess the blank part correctly, good on you. First one, Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll. Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll.
That's fun because they got so many different ones now. They've got prosthetic Barbie. They've got slightly overweight Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie. I'm trying to think of the other Barbies that I've seen at the store. They got a handy-capable Barbie in a wheelchair.
Think it's a transgender Barbie?
It wouldn't surprise me. We'll go with trannies.
If you've seen the movie, you know Kate McKinnon is a breakout character in the movie. Weird Barbie, from the hit movie Barbie, is getting its own doll. The doll, inspired by Kate McKinnon's character, and is complete with a pink baby doll dress, short, spiky blonde hair, and pink and blue highlights, squiggly forehead line, and a circle around her eye. Announcing the doll on Instagram, Mattel wrote, Barbie knows what it's like to play just a little too much. The Barbie movie has earned more than $1 billion at the global box office, making it the first film solely directed by a woman to ever cross that mark. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins.
I saw this and I thought, okay, come on now.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, so
In
good number of things. Marvel, Barbie, themed.
You nailed it, nailing
Well,
the
that
coffin.
ruins the
What would
entire
you-
time limit that we have
What
left
would
here,
you want your coffin to look like?
but Not Barbie.
Well, neither would I, but that's what people are supposedly paying for.
But you're not
pink.
Barbie fans.
I am.
Right.
I love Barbie. But
Sure. Do you have anything Barbie themed in your home?
No.
Okay, then
Absolutely not.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is that it would have to be something you're a diehard for.
Yeah.
Right. Mine be like cannabis themed or something like
Yeah.
that. PlayStation.
Barbie Mania continues to sweep the world. One funeral home in El Salvador has boarded the Barbie bandwagon in a big way. The Alpha and Omega Funeral Home in Achapan is offering a pink Barbie-themed coffin for people who want to take their obsession with pop culture sensation to the afterlife. Each of the metal caskets is decorated with stars and features lining imprinted with pictures of Barbie. One of the spokespeople says, we have to jump on this trend, adding he's already sold 10 of the coffins. It's been a success. The coffin is the latest bizarre Barbie merchandise to be released in Latin America, which has also seen products such as Barbie lunchboxes, pink tacos and pastries, and even Barbie-themed airplanes. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank.
Driver. Right. That's every state. Can't honk their horn. Okay. Yeah, noise ordinance. Can't get out of your car with a can of spray paint and spray paint the person behind you.
Can't pass other drivers. Can't
Okay.
use the express lane.
Okay. All those sound like good ideas.
New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. where drivers can't pump their own gas.
Huh.
It comes as lawmakers in Oregon voted to end the ban on self-serve gas, and Governor Tina Kotek signed off on it, ending the state's 72-year ban. Gas stations across New Jersey have pushed for lawmakers to lift the ban, which has been in effect since 1949. They say self-serve gas would allow them to lower the price.
Absolutely, yeah. I wonder why that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought, those days of somebody else having gas station attendants were pretty well over.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in forever.
There's one here in town.
Is there?
Yeah, Reed's over
Oh,
on...
yeah, Reader's over there off of 15. Okay. But it costs you extra. And
Of course it does.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Blank are coming to Jeopardy. Blank are coming to Jeopardy.
Nerds.
In there.
Right. Average people. There you go. The bottom of the class is coming to Jeopardy.
Right. Reruns.
Oh, I could see that. Like on a game show network or something. Playing the old episodes of the Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
Like the 80s and stuff like that. So we still get our taste of Alex Trebek and that wonderful stash.
The fro, man.
Oh, yeah.
When the new season of Jeopardy premieres, there'll be some changes as the writer strike continues. During an interview on the Inside Jeopardy podcast, that's a thing. Executive producer Michael Davies revealed that the show will use a combination of material from our WGA writers wrote before the strike, which is still in the database, and redeployed material from multiple seasons of the show. The new season will also have a second chance tournament showcasing players from the 2020-2021 season. Look for new episodes of Jeopardy to premiere in September.
Okay.
This strike is causing a lot of problems. I didn't know the writers wrote the stuff for game shows.
I didn't either, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Somebody's got to write it.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? That's why CBS is going to have Survivor, they're going to have Survivor, Amazing Race, and Big Brother on all at the same time.
Right, because those don't require writers.
Yes.
Huh.
Or actors.
Right, right.
So they will have them. That's never happened before. And we watch all three of those. So, and they're on so much. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we're going to keep up. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more. Facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show in 97.5 KMOD.
Man steals police vehicle with officer still inside. This happened in Los Angeles, California, where the incident occurred around 3:30 a.m. when, according to police, a female officer was conducting a security detail at 12th and Faroga Streets. At some point, the suspect approached her, got into her vehicle, and then just drove off. The officer was ejected from the SUV and then just fell onto the road. The suspect sped away northbound, where he first collided with at least two vehicles at the intersection of 8th Street and then crashed into a pole. He then tried to run from the scene but was quickly apprehended. Several people, including the officer, sustained injuries, although none appeared to be life-threatening. The area was blocked off. It was closed for several hours as authorities investigated the case, spoke with witnesses, and began to clear the wreckage and debris.
Stealing a police car's on another level, man.
For real.
Stealing a police car with the police officer in the car.
Yes.
A real different level.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I have no desire to want to steal any kind of emergency vehicle at all.
I have this thing that I like to do, and we've talked about it briefly on the air, and it's like, has this ship sailed for me?
Okay.
And stealing cars, that ship has sailed for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not
Any
going to do
car
it
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to steal a car.
All right.
At all.
So your cars, both of them are broken down, and you've got to get your child to the emergency room.
Yeah, I'll call an ambulance.
Okay. Ambulances are all taken, sir. It's going to be a while before we can get there.
I love you so much. Prayers.
I'm stealing a car then.
I don't know how to steal a car, neither do you.
I'm running out with my child saying,
You're going to carjack.
I'm going to,
Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're not going to steal it. You don't know how to hotwire a car.
No.
Neither do I. So you're going to carjack. You're going
cross
to
the red
threaten
little
another human being's life.
Yeah, then this is an emergency situation. I need you to take us to the hospital ASAP.
I am going to call Uber. I'll call Lyft. And as a last resort, I'll say, Gimpy, you and Ruby need to come get us.
Come
Yeah.
on. Grab that baby. Get on the back.
Yeah. We should start a list of the things that we can put Lindsay's name, my name, and Gimpy's name. It can be a dry erase board for all I care.
Sure, yeah.
And the things that we're done doing. And stealing cars for me. Apparently you two still on board. That ship has sailed.
Call it the last resort list.
Right.
No, not the last resort. It's that
has
ship has sailed. Because I'm not doing it at all.
Yeah. I have no need to steal a car at all whatsoever. And my kids are all grown up, so it's not like I got to worry about it.
Your grandson.
Oh, my goodness. His parents can take him.
Your babysitting.
Feels on brand.
though.
That feels on brand,
I
Gimpy.
think that's ever going to happen. Come on now. Pennsylvania resident finds a serious amount of cocaine while doing yard work. This comes out of the lower Swatara Township there in Pennsylvania. And apparently last Saturday they were just, doing yard work, digging around, and found something. And they dig it up and they're like, well, what the hell is this? This is a very mysterious package. So they call the police to come out and investigate. Makes perfectly good sense. The police come out. They notice it is a serious amount of cocaine. And by serious amount of cocaine, it's a brick. It's a brick of
I love
blow.
that you're discounting it.
Right. It's not like, somebody found like an ounce or a gram or something like that buried in the yard. It's a brick of cocaine like you see in the movies, okay? And so the police, they take it, they test it. That's when they found out it was the blow. They took it into evidence and opened up a case. They didn't say anything about how long it had been there or how it even got there in the first place.
2 pounds.
2 pounds of coke is how much it was?
That's what it says, is that a cocaine block is usually 2 pounds.
Okay.
That's a lot of cocaine.
That is a lot of cocaine. That's one hell of a party.
Yeah, I'm not sure the value.
But how did it get there, though? Like a previous resident, maybe, in the 80s, is like, I'm going to bury this cocaine, and it'll come in handy later on in life.
Right.
I could use it then, or just try to hide the evidence. I don't know.
One hell of a time capsule.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you were running from the police and you ditched it there.
But it got buried, though.
Maybe you hand dug it and then buried it. I don't know.
You're just in somebody's backyard like a dog, burying a bone.
Maybe some yard workers are like, that's their thing.
Right.
They bury it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's insane, though.
Yeah.
I hear stories of people finding stuff like that or gold coins when they're doing their yard work. I haven't found anything but rocks. I'm just saying.
Or a bottle cap.
Yeah.
There was that story, it was just a couple weeks ago, where a farmer, I think it was in like Tennessee or something, he found Civil War coins
That's cool.
in perfect condition.
Wow.
Like, ended up being a couple $1 million.
Nice.
Wow.
See, that stuff never happens to me.
Yeah.
Right? I can't imagine. I don't know what it would be here. And you would go, oh, look at all that clay. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Grocer selling luxury pineapple for $395. Southern California grocer is selling this luxury pineapple. The Ruby Glow pineapple sells for $395 at Melissa's Produce. Only a few thousand of these pinkish red designer pineapples are produced each year by Fresh Del Monte. The Ruby Glow is a result of 15 years of research and experimentation. A couple things. One, this has been around a long time. They've just mostly sold it in China and are like, oh, let's see how it goes in America, which I know a lot of you are going to go, stupid. Except y'all buy Honeycrisp apples, and those are considered a luxury apple.
They're delicious.
This might be too.
I'm sure
but
it
they're
is.
but they're still overly priced for an apple.
Yeah, I ain't paying
They're not
$400 for
300.
pineapple.
Yeah, they're not $400.
No, that's true. But in the beginning, Honeycrisp apples were really expensive. Or those weird pears that come with their own little sock. Like you've never seen those in the grocery
No.
store? There's different types of oranges and strawberries. This is a common thing.
The blood orange. Those are.
Nope.
Oh, I mean they're pricey.
Yes, they are. Well, Bidenomics. All these stories are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
Tulsa's Morning Show. The Big Man Morning Show. The Assault.
I feel as soon as you start hacking away with a chainsaw, that's just going to be a bloody mess everywhere.
It's like putting together a swing set in your backyard. You're like, I can do this. And then you get in, you're like, I'm going to need some help.
Right. So you call your kids to come help you put the swing set together.
Yeah. If you've ever put together a swing set in the last 5 years, it shows up and you're like, okay, yeah, I could do this. And then on day 2, you're like, we'll put that on later.
Right. Kids don't need a swing, do they?
Yeah.
Nah.
I think the monkey bar sat in my garage for a good year.
They're not going to be able to reach up there and grab it anyway.
Right, exactly. Do you think Mima was a bad person, abusive, maybe?
Are you justifying
have
it?
to be?
Are you implying that if she was, then she probably should be dismembered?
No. But would she have to be for it to be like,
You brought it up.
okay?
You brought it up. You tell me.
Well, I look at Dexter, like the show Dexter. It was like he was almost like the good bad guy because he was taking out bad people.
No, Dexter was a horrible person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. That instead of
Yes.
robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people. Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some of them.
Bumped into me at the grocery store.
No,
Yeah, some of them, sure, but not all of them.
no, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery
dare you
store.
take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the three basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
Right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together, it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years,
Okay.
right?
Alrighty then.
Ooh.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
I was gonna-
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Chiffres et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
He owed.
he like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. He, well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though, for a game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that they're. I mean, people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up. You know, everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on Price is Right because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel, earn points. Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change. But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get annoyed with the... Just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why I like Pyramid, and like it runs its exhaustion level. That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like, quote unquote, you win.
Right. It gives you hope
Absolutely.
and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like, to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through and recruit people, and then how many people from here actually get on the show? Not very many, if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like
Okay.
they tried because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum, which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're like,
Yeah.
that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses
In California.
in anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to any hotel, you're not gonna, even if you're gonna stay at the Comfort Inn.
Right.
And if you are, it's still $200. You're there a week. That's $1,000. It doesn't matter where it's at. You ain't staying at the Sunnyside Inn with the satellite dish painted yellow.
Right. With all the crackheads and whores.
Well, I mean, you can get that anywhere, any hotel, right? I saw this story circulating today about TikTok doctors warning the number one position for penile fractures? Number one, 50. I want to make sure I get that. I would hate to fumble this. It's the most dangerous sex position, according to science. It's the cause of 50% of penile fractures. 50.
That's a lot.
So of all the penile fractures that happen, half are because of this sex position. What do you think, Lindsay?
Doggy style.
Okay, Gimpy?
I am going to say it is the reversed cowgirl,
It is the reverse cowgirl.
which is my favorite by far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them are good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even plain old vanilla is good.
Yeah. Yeah. The line of great is pretty thin from a guy's standpoint.
Right. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because they're not looking and paying attention. But are you really looking and paying attention even if you're facing forward? You know what I mean?
There's obviously no bones inside a penis, so it's a tear in the frenulum or the tunica albuginea.
Sure.
This is a rubbery sheath of tissue that allows for the penis to do what it does best. And that there is this new resurgence because of the doctor saying this on TikTok that people are like, oh, okay.
So they're seeing more broken boners now because of the TikTok?
No. The story of this being the number one sex position for a broken wee-wee.
Okay.
I've never had a fractured penis, so I don't know what that would be like.
It's not fun. I mean, it didn't break or anything.
You've had a fractured penis?
I don't want to say fractured, but, things didn't work out the way that it had, and it should have zigged when I should have zagged. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you're saying this. I was hoping you would say this.
Yeah.
How would you know you have a fractured penis? You would have to go to a doctor to know for sure. So, I'm pretty sure, I'm just making an assumption here, that Gimpy did not go to the doctor in regards to his penis situation.
No.
So it's a self-determined diagnosis.
Yeah, when you break an arm or a leg. When I slipped on the smallest patch of ice in the parking lot, there was an audible pop. That happened. And that's how I knew that I'd broken my leg. When I broke my tooth on vacation, there was an audible pop.
Yeah.
That allowed me to know that I broke my tooth. That and the tooth, fell on the floor or whatever. So when that happened, there was an audible pop that led me to believe that, oh yeah, this is definitely like I said, it wasn't broken or anything because there's no bone to break. It hurt, and it was out of commission for a couple of weeks, and that sucked.
Sure.
But you're right. I didn't go to the doctor and be like, doctor, I think I broke my Peter.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that break bones and don't know they've broken a bone.
Right.
There are players, football players, that run on broken legs and don't know that they're broken until later.
Okay, so to me, broken and fractured are two totally different things. Like a hairline fracture, a small fracture, you can still perform with a fracture. But when I broke my leg, it was broke, floppy doppy.
Yeah.
There's no way I could stand it.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text Bmms and then what you want to say to 82945. Coming up, tickets to Hardy we're going to give away. But first, we got to see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
The Boston Celtics will host the Indiana Pacers for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals at TD Garden at 7 on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight. The Celtics are making their third straight trip to the conference finals and are searching for their second trip to the NBA Finals in the last 3 seasons. The Pacers are in their first conference final since 2014 and will be looking to knock off the top overall seed for their first trip to the finals since 2000. The Western Conference Finals will begin tomorrow when the Minnesota Timberwolves host the Dallas Mavericks at the Target Center. The future of the NBA is in good hands with a pair of young bigs starting off their careers on a high note. San Antonio Spurs center Victor Wembanyama and Oklahoma City Thunder forward Chet Holmgren headlined the NBA's all-rookie team this season. The duo was unanimous first-team selections. Joining the pair on the first team were Brandon Miller of the Charlotte Hornets and Jami Jaquez Jr. of the Miami Heat, Brandon Pojemski of the Golden State Warriors. This is the second team consisted of the Dallas Mavericks, Derek Lively II, Houston Rockets, Amin Thompson, Utah Jazz's Keontae George, Oklahoma City's Cason Wallace, and Memphis Grizzlies' Gigi Jackson. The Chiefs will have their troubled young wide receiver at practice this week. ESPN reports that Kansas City wideout Rashee Rice is with the team and set to take part in full squad organized team activities this week.
He better be.
Yeah. The 24-year-old was arrested earlier this offseason due to his involvement in a 6-car crash on a freeway in Dallas. He's being sued for over $1 million in actual damages and $10 million in punitive damages by 2 people who were allegedly injured during the wreck. Rice is also currently a suspect in an alleged assault that took place at a Dallas nightclub earlier this month. Rice had 79 catches for 938 yards and 7 touchdowns as a rookie last season.
I love the comment section on anything when an actor or specifically athletes get in trouble because comments like this exist. Someone needs to keep an eye on him. A good life coach or mentor would be a great move. How do you know he doesn't have one?
Right.
How do you know he doesn't have one?
Well, because a life coach or mentor wouldn't let him race rented cars up and down.
They're not
the highway.
police officers.
No.
Right, it's called free will, man.
Yeah.
He needs more of a babysitter at this point.
Right?
I don't even know if he needs a babysitter would stop him.
Right.
If he's got a babysitter, who's paying him?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm paying you. Shut your mouth. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
So there's
He's just
nothing that
young
can
and
help
dumb.
that guy except for himself.
I don't know if he's young and dumb. He's young. Right? That's the end of that.
Making mistakes.
He's just
Big time.
he's being a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I could, that happens. You get into fights at the club or whatever. But getting guns involved is a different story or whatever.
We know plenty of 20-somethings
True.
that do things we would never do.
Right.
And as we're older, we go, well, he's jeopardizing so much.
Is this what happens when we tell our kids, keep your nose clean when they play high school ball and stuff? Keep your nose clean so you get scouted and, and you move on to a good college and they accept you. And then when you're in college, keep your nose clean so the NFL picks you up. And then you get into the NFL and you're like, okay, I've made it. Now I can mess up and, get my hands dirty a little bit.
So you're implying that, is this what happens when the shackles come off?
Right.
No.
I think it's what happens when you give young adults millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I think you can say he's always had money in some regard or been around it
That
to
may
a
be
point where
fair,
you can
yeah.
be reckless with it. I think it's more of a case of you feel like you're the big dog on campus and you've got more attention than you ever have. And I don't think this is a new thing. Like, this isn't, I think you only say things like keep your nose cleaned. They only pick people who are good people. That's
Right.
the
Pick
most
people who are
insane
good
thought
athletes.
ever. That's not true. That's not, we say that, and if some kids, it affects them, and they go, oh, okay. But a lot of them know. How many times do we read books or hear stories about high school athletes or kid athletes who get in trouble and still go on?
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
All of them.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More than
That's what I'm saying. Like, she is going to be released probably to their
Yeah. She'll be paying it
supervision.
back. If she's my kid.
No, she won't be paying back.
If she's my kid, she is.
No.
She's going to be working it off. Hard labor.
For 40 years?
Busting rocks in the backyard.
This isn't
Yes.
you bought her an iPhone.
Right.
Tink.
This is, as Gimpy said, if not 2 commas, it is definitely 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
She would be paying back forever.
You owe me every paycheck for the rest of your life.
Well, that makes no sense either.
When you retire, I want your retirement. I want your 401k.
See what I'm saying? Like, it just creates all these questions.
There's only 2 ways that you can pass a whiz quiz without using some kind of illegal substance. And that is one.
Broccoli?
No.
Oh.
Just naturally stopping. Okay. And cleaning yourself out.
Surefire,
that way.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's like, abstinence is the only way to guarantee not getting pregnant. Nonetheless, the other way, which is only good for like an hour or 2, maybe a day, is a flush. And that's just to drink a buttload of water, because when you do that, you're not urinating anything for your test, but just straight water.
Well, that's why when you buy those pee cleans, they're like, drink a ton of water,
Gee, I wonder
because
why.
it isn't that. It's the flushing. Have you ever taken a marijuana drug test, Lindsay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I passed.
Okay, what's the story?
I
Like
just for a background check for a job. But I don't.
in radio?
Yeah. Mhm.
Really?
Yeah. The first radio station I ever worked at in South Dakota.
Huh.
Yeah. But at the time, I was 20 years old, so I wasn't really into pot so much, so it wasn't a big deal.
I didn't do the marijuana at the time.
And also, yes, I had to take one when I started substitute teaching. So back in Indiana, I had to take one. And again, I wasn't, even back then, a heavy pot smoker. So it wasn't enough, like, in my system to even worry
Are you a heavy
about
pot
it.
smoker now?
No, I'm
okay.
not.
Well, at least
So-
you were implying that you
Yeah,
weren't, so I didn't
yeah.
know if you were
So
now.
I've never
More of a
had
pot
to
eater.
worry about it. Yeah, it's never been in my system enough to even worry about it.
Gimpy, you said 1. How many have you taken total in your whole?
1 to get a job at Target.
Huh.
No, excuse me. I just lied to you. Sorry, the other job. 2, as a matter of fact. 1 to get a job at Target, and the other one was to get a job when I was selling parts, the job that I had before I got here. And I had failed that one. I had tried. I was like, all right.
I love that you put some sympathy tone on it. Like, I tried.
I did. I quit for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, all right, that should be good enough, right? THC absorbs in your fat cells. I'm not a heavy guy, so therefore I thought it would flush it out a lot, sooner. It wouldn't stick around in my body as long as it did. So a couple of weeks go by. I'm like, all right, bet I'm good. And I go down there and I take their whiz quiz. And it comes back. You tested positive for the marijuana.
And you hadn't smoked in how long?
It'd been a couple of weeks. I completely stopped.
It can hang. Hold on. I thought that was like recent. I didn't think whiz was weeks.
No, it's the THC absorbs in your fat cells, so it stays in there for a while. And if you're a bigger, heavier dude and a heavy smoker, and that's another thing you got to think of, heavy smoker I was, but so therefore I thought, okay, a couple of weeks, I'm not a fat guy, I should be good, not taking into account the amount that I put into my body on a daily basis, okay? So I failed that one, and they're like, all right, well, we'll give you another shot, but you got to wait for 6 months. You got
Wow.
to get the job.
to take another whiz quiz. So I was like, all right, fine.
6 months hardly makes sense.
That's what they told me, and I was like, bro, I really wanted this job,
So did you start the job, and then in 6 months they tested you?
No, I couldn't get the job until they tested me, and I tested positive. So for 6 months, I go straight. I quit completely for those 6 months.
Impressive.
And I know,
Very
right?
much so.
And so I took my test, I passed it with flying colors, and then I started back up again, and I tell you what, it has not been the same since. The very first time I got roasted after not doing it for 6 months, I was like, it messed with my mind so much. I was like, this is not what I remember it being. Oh, it's because my tolerance dropped. I was like, well, I guess we're just going to have to build it back up. But you're talking, from 16 to 25, so 9 years of just steady smoking all day, every day. my tolerance was way up there. So I was like, I guess we'll have to start all over again.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
I worked at The Edge, and the company that owned them in another market, they own a newspaper service, and the newspaper, one of the delivery guys that delivered the paper in the morning to, the stands or whatever, hit a kid and killed a kid, and they tested him, and he was high. So they were like, we're drug testing everyone. And so they instituted a drug policy where you had to do a random drug testing. Mm-hmm. I go to London to see Kings of Leon, and then when I come back, they call me into the office like right away.
Right.
And they're like, hey. And I was friends with the business manager. He's like, hey, you have 24 hours after I hand this to you to go take a drug test. Would you like me to hand it to you? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, tomorrow morning I have to hand it to you. Mm-hmm. So whatever you need to get taken care of.
Right.
And so I went and bought like pea clean, like,
all the stuff,
broccoli, whatever, all the stupid stuff. And went and did the test. And when I did the test, they give you all these instructions, the thing, put it in there, don't flush, da-da-da. So I obviously have to pee like a crazy person. Mm-hmm. And because I've been holding it, and I go to the bathroom just like, oh, thank God, fill the cup and no problem. Done, being a good boy, and I flush.
Oh,
and they're like, I go out, and she's like, did you just flush the toilet? And I'm like, yeah. Cup's in the thing. We good? And she's like, no, you can't flush. So 1 hour. See you again. See you in an hour. And you're like, and if you didn't do the test, they fired you.
Yeah. Oh.
And I was like, So I went and ate and panicked. Mm-hmm. Went back and did it again and was like, did not flush. Like she even put a note on the thing. Don't flush.
Did she say like, it happens?
No.
Or was she mean about it?
No, she wasn't mean about it, but she also wasn't empathetic.
Yeah.
Right.
She's there to do a job.
Right.
She's seen all the tricks. Mm-hmm. You go in there and you're peeing like you're running out of, like you haven't peed in days.
Yeah.
He is well aware that you're trying to not pass a test. They're not stupid.
They've seen all the tricks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The question is, how many people lost their job there after that? Did anybody?
Good question.
No. No,
we're all Johnny Fever in
of
this
the places I've worked that have had drug policies. Mm-hmm. I've never seen and alcohol.
Yeah,
I've never seen somebody get fired.
Wow.
And I know that some people didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe there was an internal like, hey, you get a warning, and next time though,
we'll test
possibly.
You again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Airport runway worker killed after being sucked into the airplane engine.
Yikes.
Federal officials are investigating the weekend death of a grounds worker at the Alabama airport. NTSB said the worker at Montgomery Regional Airport was killed after he was sucked into the engine of an airplane. It happened Saturday afternoon, according to the NTSB. The American Airlines plane had just arrived from DFW when a ground support personnel was ingested into the engine. The unidentified worker was employed by Piedmont Airlines, which is a subsidiary of American Airlines. So, if you look at an engine, when it's not moving, it's got the little curly Q. Mm-hmm. That is on there to know if the plane engine is on.
Well, that makes perfectly good sense. I guess it didn't work for this guy, though.
He may not have been present that day or skipped that part of the training process.
I wonder what that is.
Dude, I don't even think you probably have time.
No, you don't feel anything.
And does it... So when I was in high school, we had a family friend that owned a chicken farm. Mm-hmm. And during chicken harvest season, we would go and he'd pay us, and you make good money, right?
Yeah.
And you load up just the females, you don't load up the males. But you have to kill the males. And you're supposed to pop their necks and throw them in one of the cages, and then they get collected later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes no sense. I'm sorry. Cancel me. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the way it worked. Uh-huh. Some of us, not me, would throw the chicken into the industrial fan. That chicken into the industrial fan, which are those big. Boom, 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 boom.
No, not me.
Have you seen my throws?
I would never do. Listen, Pepsi bowling champ of the 8th
That's
grade.
not throwing.
You got to throw a ball.
It's rolling.
Whatever. You rolled that rooster on into the fan.
And it kind of like would. The point being is it would stall the fan wouldn't just keep running.
Right.
Right. Like it kind of would.
Yeah, bog down a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that happening with an airplane?
You would think.
You would think. But if that's the case, if something that ends up getting sucked into the engine is automatically going to shut the engine off, that would not be a good idea for a plane. Because ducks, geese, birds, Superman, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the movie where they landed the plane in the Hudson, that's what that was about.
Yeah. So if it was going to, shut off anytime something flew into the engine, well, they wouldn't be on the ground or they wouldn't be in the air.
And what type of plane are we talking about?
A big one, a small one.
If it's a regional airport, it's hard. No, it ain't a big one. But anyway, crazy. Got to take a break. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. That was 30 years ago.
Did you get any of the guts on you?
What is it?
No,
are you looking
projects
at
out.
A statute of limitations here to see if it's okay?
Totally.
That you throw
I
your
didn't say
dead
okay.
cocks in the fan? Come on.
This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me. Let's have a vacation. Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that situation.
That maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS. And then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Hey, rock the bank at 9 o'clock this morning. Listen for your chance to win $1,000 when you hear the key word at 9 o'clock this morning. Enter it online at KMOD.com. You'll have 8 more chances to put $1,000 in your hand throughout the day today. Again, when you hear the key word, enter that word online at KMOD.com for your chance at $1,000. Good luck.
Good morning, Gippy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. This is your last week as we toast our troops. If you're a veteran or know a veteran, we want to get you hooked up with a case of Shiner Bakken dinner for 2 at Mondo's Italian Restaurant in the heart of Brookside. All you got to do is hit up the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Again, this is your last week to get signed up.
Well, dead ass or fake news. I'll read some story here, and you tell me, is it dead ass or fake news? First one says there are only 3 words in English that end in D-O-U-S.
D-O-U-S.
There are only 3 words that end in the English that end in D-O-U-S.
D-O-U-S.
Seems legit to me.
Yeah, I know, dead ass.
Fake news. Therefore, horrendous, tremendous, hazardous, and stupendous.
Well, that's stupendous.
The national anthem of Spain has lyrics considered by law to be illegally profane in over a dozen countries.
Say that again.
The national anthem of Spain has lyrics considered by law to be illegally profane in over a dozen countries.
Okay.
Spain.
I could see that like a language barrier. It would seem like, you know, what they meant in Spain is good, whatever, is bad in another language. I'm going to say dead ass.
Yeah, dead ass.
Fake news. The Spanish national anthem, Marcha Real, has no words. It's one of only 4 national anthems in the world that are instrumental. The others being Bosnia, Herzegovina, and San Marino.
Okay. They're like, we don't need any words to celebrate our country.
Music's enough.
That's it.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, right.
Dead ass or fake news, the Statue of Liberty used to be a lighthouse. Dead ass or fake news, the Statue of Liberty used to be a lighthouse.
Like it was a lighthouse, and they're like, let's add on top of this. Let's turn it into something.
It grew up.
Right. I could see it being used as a lighthouse.
Yeah. If.
Here's the thing. The last two have been fake news.
I
I feel like
know.
we're due up for a dead ass.
Yeah.
I'm going to say dead ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
I love your perception of them. There's some like methodical thing happening here. Dead ass, the Statue of Liberty became a working lighthouse a month after its dedication in 1886 and remained in operation for 16 years. The torch of the statue was visible from 24 miles away.
Wow. Okay.
Up until then, just the number of ships just running ashore was crazy. Dead ass or fake news, a 2008 study by the University of Illinois found that CPR works best when you perform it to the beat of the disco classic Staying Alive. Dead ass or fake news?
Dead ass.
Dead ass as dead ass gets.
Yeah, I feel like this one was pretty obvious, but there's a reason I picked this one. So, Dead Ass, Staying Alive may be a disco song, but according to Dr. Davis Matlock, it may also be the means to save life. With 103 beats per minute, keeping this rhythm during CPR can get a heart moving again, too. Other songs recommended by First Response Training International include, I think we knew this one, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger.
I didn't, but okay.
Britney Spears' Stronger.
Okay.
And Country Girl Shake It For Me by Luke Bryan.
Country girl, shake. Oh,
For me,
you come on, you can do it. Come back to life.
Shake it for me.
Shake it for me, country girl.
Oh, Staying Alive. They did that one on The Office, right?
Sure.
I thought they taught CPR training on an episode of The Office to that song.
Possible, I would think.
Awesome that you learned CPR from The Office.
Yeah.
Learned?
Right.
Or well, I don't think that's learned. Step aside. I saw an episode of The Office. I don't want to hear those words as I'm coding out.
That's what she said.
The platypus and Ichecdina are the only mammals that can regenerate lost limbs. The platypus and Echidna are the only mammals that can regenerate lost limbs. Dead ass or fake news?
I want to say fake news.
I want to say fake news as well. I've never heard of a mammal regenerating limbs. Cold-blooded animals like lizards, salamanders, stuff like that, yes.
Fake news. They do not have limb regeneration in common, but they are the only two mammals that lay eggs.
Mm-hmm.
That also makes them very, not reading the joke. All right. Dead ass or fake news. Sylvester Stallone was a world champion wrestler before he starred in Rocky. Dead ass or fake news. Sylvester Stallone was a world champion wrestler before he starred in Rocky.
Didn't WCW come out after Rocky?
Wrestling's been around a long time.
Yeah, I
though.
know. World champion wrestling, WCW. Yeah.
I would say boxing before wrestling.
Yeah.
With him.
Yeah, I would as well.
So I'm going to say fake news.
I'm with Lindsay on that one.
Fake news. Sylvester's first job was appearing in softcore porn films like erotic off-Broadway plays. He learned boxing for that.
Okay.
For Rocky?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to find this Sylvester Stallone porn.
Sure you do. You be you, man.
Yeah.
Dead ass or fake news. The capital of Singapore is Singapore. Dead ass or fake news. The capital of Singapore is Singapore.
Singapore.
I don't know the capital of Singapore. I'm going to say fake news.
One of the reasons I love doing this segment so much is the questions are so ridiculous and make no sense. But you sit here and go, and you will think about
Yes, you
these
will.
today at some point.
I mean, they have New York City, New York. That's not the capital, but I mean, still. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a Singapore. I'm still saying fake news,
Me
though.
too.
Dead ass. Before independence in 1965, Singapore was the capital of the British Straits Settlements, a crown colony. It was also the main British naval base in East Asia. Singapore is the only world capital that contains a patch of primary rainforest within its borders. Deadass or fake news? The moon influences the Earth's tides.
You dead ass.
Dead ass.
I mean, because remember on, what was that? The
Office?
No, not The Office, with Jim Carrey, Bruce Almighty, right? When he pulls the moon closer to make it look bigger,
He also
cause
becomes
tidal waves.
gods.
Yeah, yeah. Almost say dead ass.
Yep.
Deadass. The word tides is a generic term used to define the alternating rise and fall in sea level with respect to the land produced by the gravitational attraction of the moon and the sun. To a much smaller extent, tides also occur in large lakes. Generally speaking, tidal cycles contain 2 high tides and 2 low tides each day. Deadass or fake news? A duck's quack doesn't echo. Dead ass or fake news? A duck's quack doesn't echo. I wish people could see Lindsay right now. She is deep in thought. Like, she's like, I know this.
No.
I know this.
She's the hunter of all of us, so I mean,
She's
she
the
would
quack.
know.
She's the quack expert for sure,
Right.
Gimpy.
I think it's fake news.
Say more. Just a gut feeling.
Just a gut feeling,
Okay.
only because why else would you do duck calls? You would want it to echo off of the lakes for them to hear. I don't know. It sounds made up to me.
Yeah, I think all sounds echo when they bounce off of something. So I'm gonna say dead or fake news, whichever one.
Yeah, of course it's fake news. It's like any other sound, it echoes.
Yeah.
Deadass or fake news? The first webcam watched a coffee pot.
Okay.
They had to test
Strange.
I
Yeah.
guess. So yeah, sounds dead ass to me.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll go with that.
Deadass. Back in 1991, the Trojan Room coffee pot was a coffee machine located next to the so-called Trojan Room in the old computer laboratory at the University of Cambridge in England. To save people working in the building that disappointment of finding the coffee machine empty after making the trip to the room, a camera was set up providing a live picture of the coffee pot to all desktop computers on the office network.
Oh, God.
After the camera was connected to the internet a few years later, the coffee pot gained international notoriety as a feature of the fledgling World Wide Web until it retired in 2001.
2001.
Yeah, this was in
That's how long.
1991.
Wow, they kept that cam alive for that many years just to watch the coffee drip.
So when you think about OnlyFans or Twitch or any of those things, the only reason those things exist is so we could find out if there was coffee. Deadass or fake news? Los Angeles, California is farther west than Reno, Nevada. Los Angeles, California is farther west than Reno, Nevada. Deadass or fake news?
Well, I mean, it seems dead ass because California's on the far west coast. Nevada's next to it. It only makes sense.
But is it a trick question? Deadass.
Miles wise?
Fake news.
Fake news. Reno is more west than Los Angeles. Reno is located at 119 degrees west, while Los Angeles is 118 degrees west. Because remember, California dips down, Nevada
Right.
dips over.
Gotcha.
Deadass or fake news? A leap is a collective term for a group of lions. Deadass or fake news? A leap is a collective term for a group of lions. We
That is.
visited this Friday, and remember, Gimpy has an uncanny ability to know what collective terms are for animals.
Some of 'em.
But that's a pride, right? A lion.
Lions are prides, yes.
So it's fake
fake
news.
Fake news. A leap is a group of leopards.
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 Deadass or fake news? The small intestine is longer than the large intestine. Deadass or fake news? The small intestine is longer than the large intestine.
That is dead ass.
Deadass.
Deadass indeed. The small intestine in adults is a long and narrow tube about 23 feet long. The large intestine is so called because it's wider in diameter, because Girth is always better. However, it is shorter than small intestine, about 5 feet long. Dead ass or fake news, the nostrils are missing from the painting of the Mona Lisa. Dead ass or fake news, the nostrils are missing from the painting of the Mona Lisa.
Trying to picture the Mona Lisa in my head.
Dead ass.
Dead ass.
Fake news, it's the eyebrows that are missing or not visible.
She went and pulled a Richard Pryor, smoking crack cocaine and singed her eyebrows off.
Is she excited? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal signed a one-game contract so he could play in a preseason game against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Dead ass.
Dead ass or fake news. Billy Crystal signed a one-game contract so he could play in a preseason game against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I'm going to say dead ass. Lindsay jumped on that one like she knew it, so.
Yeah.
Any
dead
context?
ass. I think I read that somewhere.
You say that a lot about a lot of things.
Celebrities, things that you didn't know about celebrities. I believe it was like in an article like from the Times or something like that.
What
years
team?
ago. Maybe the Yankees.
He signed with his beloved Yankees back in 2008 and wore number 60 in honor of his 60th birthday. Dead ass.
Yeah.
Dead ass or fake news. The recycling symbol was originally designed for a eugenics campaign. Dead ass or fake news. The recycling symbol was originally designed for a eugenics campaign.
Dead ass? Total guess.
Sure, why not?
Fake news. The symbol was actually designed by a student for a 70s design contest held by the Container Corporation of America. The company needed a symbol for the recycled goods and didn't want to waste money on hiring a professional designer.
I'll be damned.
Dead ass or fake news. The can opener was not invented until 45 years after the tin can. Dead ass or fake news. The can opener was not invented until 45 years after the tin can.
Yeah, I'm going to say dead ass on that one.
I want to say fake news.
I think they use knives and like church keys, and they're like, man, there's got to be a simpler way to open these things up.
I'm sticking with fake news.
Dead ass, although preservation of food using tin cans had been practiced since at least 1772 in the Netherlands, the first can openers were not patented until 1855 in England and in 1858 in the United States. They just had all these cans stacked up, Lindsay.
Right.
We'll get to eat it eventually. Last one, dead ass or fake news. Kangaroos are only an inch long at birth. Dead ass or fake news. Kangaroos are only an inch long at birth.
Fake news.
That seems legit. Dead ass.
Fake news. Although we're kind of messing with you a little, at birth, the baby, called a joey, can be as small as a grain of rice or as big as a bee, 0.2 to 0.9 inches, according to the San Diego Zoo. When the joey is born, it is guided into the comfy pouch, where it gestates for another 120 to 450 days. Yeah. So how about that?
Man, can you imagine living in your mama's pocket for a year, over a year? No, thank you.
I mean, a mama's pocket.
Yeah.
We got to take a break and we'll be back.
You're listening to the Big
Scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit, and I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens.
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dress for less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza. Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch. from like 4 days.
No.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or
Right.
just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's like
Cleanliness.
cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. And it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 you know. No. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first.
You're so bougie. Like,
Yeah.
You're going over get high and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you got to, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because, it's littered with empty cans.
Right.
Then, yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag.
But if-
Clear off the tables
Yes.
and it'll be fine.
Yes.
It'll be fine. I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
right.
All right? Just don't make people come in and be like, oh, God. Oh, God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy. Right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
Right. You're
Oh,
obviously
gross. Covering up a
something
smell.
Yeah.
right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
and mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing his racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little
Yeah,
bit.
but you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look it
I
up.
mean,
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Got a giant honking
It
schnoz.
is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. If I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound.
Yeah.
A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful
Yeah,
chirping
yeah.
or anything. It's a very loud noise. Mm-hmm. It's the shoebill stork. You see it?
yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick going to be?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see.
Dropping bombs?
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see him a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
see them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long legs and stuff
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
Piranha.
The heron, yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy?
Can I say big?
Huh?
Big?
Bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh.
If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner.
true.
One of the two.
Yeah, why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricasseed penguin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it getting. I mean, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome,
Okay.
and 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay? Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start.
0
Let's
being
start
nothing.
basic, right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Lindsay.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh,
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken.
sauce
No. Yeah.
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle, too.
it's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2. 2, if that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's play a game. Hardy's going to be in Rogers, Arkansas at the Walmart Amphitheater, and we got tickets, amptickets.com if you want to get yours, or you can try and win them right now with Sing Sing. The current record is...
Well, it looks like I'm leading with 7. Lindsay has 6, and you have 3.
And last week's winner...
That'd be a whole bunch of nobody.
So everybody's eligible to play. 918-460-KMOD, 918-460-KMOD. Hardy tickets up for grabs. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name? Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
It's Kim.
Kim, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, Kim. Who do you want to give clues? Everybody's open for playing. Lindsay, Gimpy, or myself.
Let's go with Gimpy.
Come on.
60 seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue for Sing Sing. Are you ready, Kim?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Okay, so this was a fat guy in the early 90s who played the harmonica. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, so the first name of this person is a color, not red, but
Blue.
there you go. And so what 90s artist that played the harmonica has the name that starts with blue?
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's move on to the name of the song.
Okay.
This is an action, don't walk, but blank.
Run.
There you go. And the circle is what shape?
Round.
So put those two together, kind of think of a 90s song, harmonica.
Blue round.
Okay, so you got the word run, right?
Right.
And then you have the word round, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the first letter of the alphabet?
A.
Put that before round and you've got the name of the song.
A blue round.
Oh, Jesus Christ, woman.
3.
0 time.
Oh, well, I lost.
You just go ahead and hang up. Try not to hang yourself today. Okay. Hey, listen to some Blues Traveler on your way to work this
Blue
morning.
Travelers. That's who it was.
Now
Kim,
you
I'm
got
so
it.
sorry. Thank you for playing. Have a good day.
You too.
See you later. Good news for whoever plays second.
Right? Unless they're just as dumb as that one. Dang.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Corey.
Cliff?
Corey.
Corey. Who do you want to give clues? Corey, Lindsay, or Corbin?
Lindsay.
60 seconds are on the clock. You just have to get one. Okay, here we go.
Oh, boy. All right. Corey, lightning and,
Thunder.
okay, another word for smooch.
Kiss.
Uh-huh. And then it's a
Thunder.
number. Yeah, what?
Thunder kiss.
Uh-huh. And then followed by a number.
1.
No, okay. You got Thunder Kiss. Take the number 50 and add 15.
65.
Uh-huh. Put it all together.
Thunder kiss.
You
65.
got it. All right. This Motown woman needed this from everyone. She spelled the word out when she sang it.
I don't know.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking.
Sock it to me.
Okay, keep going. Yes, it's just one word.
Sock it to me.
Time. It doesn't matter, man. You just needed one. Congratulations. You're getting those tickets to see Hardy at the Walmart Amphitheater, brother.
Sweet.
I'm not even sure if he understands what's happening.
I think it does.
Gimpy, this is the one that she ended on.
Yeah. Let's see. How's the song go? She had it right. What you want, baby? I got it. What you need, I'm gonna get it. Let's. Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Aretha
Oh,
Franklin,
I don't know.
respect.
Yeah, respect.
Uh-huh.
And then any clues you would add for Gimpy's Lindsay?
I mean, what could you give? Look into my eyes, pretty baby. I don't know the. Is that?
I have.
Is it, I don't. I cannot think of this song.
John Popper's the lead singer of this band. He's really fat. Was.
Was.
Lost weight. He wore a vest that had all the harmonicas. He had a alligator skin hat and would wear those type of glasses that are dark at the bottom but clear at the top.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think she would have gotten any of those clues.
Yeah.
Blues Traveler, Run.
Run around.
Blues.
Whatever.
All right, the record now.
Ties Lindsay and I with 7. Keeps you dead ass last with 3.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right back. The Big Mad Morning Show. Tulsa's rock station. 97.5.
Happened in Michigan. A judge has decided that Mark Latunsky will face a charge of first-degree murder after a degree hearing. The murder degree hearing for Mark Latunsky continued for a second day. This happened last Wednesday. He admitted to killing and mutilating Kevin Bacon, who is 25 years old. In court, he accepted a plea into open murder. The hearing was for the judge to determine if Mark will be sentenced for a charge of first-degree or second-degree murder, and the judge decided on the former. Back in 2019, Kevin Bacon, his body was found in Latunsky's home. He and Kevin Bacon met on a dating app, according to investigators. Kevin's body was hung upside down with a slit throat, according to police. Investigators also say that the man's testicles were removed and eaten.
This is a thing. How many stories have we read about castrations?
Yeah. At least a small handful that I can think of. I didn't even mean to do that.
I know you didn't. I could tell just by the way you delivered it. Yeah. It feels like we've read, it happened here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Some guy come down to meet two other guys, and they end up cutting his balls off or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Is it for fun, or are they, trying to prove a point? I don't get, because me personally, I would never chop my balls off for fun.
No.
Is it a Moussa Muffin thing? Like you go for a little BDSM, just tightening, and then there's some menacing people out there, and I'm just going to slice them off.
Right. Let's see how far we can take this train. Okay.
That doesn't. I cannot piece together these stories. This is one of the stories we do that I'm like, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get why it happens. I don't get the people that are up for it.
Yeah.
Not that this was a willing participant. We don't know that part.
Right. The only thing that I can think of is obviously there's some kind of mental issue where the person whose balls are chopped off maybe has a sex addiction or something to that effect, and they think that that's the only way they can get over it. The only way that they can cure themselves is to cut off that part of the body.
castration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so therefore they won't have that sexual desire anymore, whether it's, raping babies or
Like
just,
dogs.
Yeah, that too.
The idea that that's what you do to dogs, so they don't they want to hump.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is more of a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where the guy, they met on a dating app. The guy came over to the guy's house, and he ended up tying this guy up.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, because then there would be more. This isn't. You know what I'm saying? You don't go. I understand there's a first time for everything,
Right.
but you're not going to be like, well, I think next time I'm willing to take a step further, get the skillet out.
Right.
Right.
I wonder
That's
if
also
these taste like.
it's also an important feature. Did he cook them, or did he eat them raw?
Right.
Because eating a heart of a deer is not an uncommon thing. Sometimes straight out of it, sometimes cooked.
Right. Even your Rocky Mountain oysters, bull balls, bull butter. People eat those, but they don't eat them raw.
They don't eat them raw, right?
As far as I know, they don't. If you do, that makes you a little weird, and I don't think we should be friends anymore.
The idea that these two crazy people found each other, if that's the case, God, the universe is insane.
Imagine the life they could have had if he would not have died.
I think they had the life they imagined.
He just ended up dead and ballless.
I think again, we don't know the motive of the other person from the story.
Yeah.
But that sounds like that was the motive of this guy. He literally was like, whatever you want to do, Judge.
Right.
Apparently, and I dug into this guy a little bit. He had a master's degree. Like, he was pretty, he was...
The Unabomber had a master's. He was, come on.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Did you get that online nowadays?
Sentencing for him will be held on December 15th.
I saw a thing yesterday online. I don't know if it's true, but you know how they caught the Unabomber? They caught the Unabomber. He was such an elitist. Like, he thought he was so much better than everybody else. He couldn't stand the phrase, have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And because he's like, that makes no sense. He was like, you can't have your cake and then enjoy it, like some other phrase.
Yeah.
And so he wrote this manifesto that got printed in the paper. And his sister-in-law, who always thought he was a little off his rocker, was like, I think this is your brother. Went to her husband, and he looked at him and was like, I don't think so, and then read the line that his brother was one of the only people who ever said, you can't have your cake and then enjoy it as well.
Right.
Oh.
And that's how they got him.
Wow.
Ooh, damn it. Ted Kaczynski. Man busted for beating.
Also, he was one of the people that did the acid experiment where they gave everybody a bunch of acid to see how they would react.
Okay.
And he went crazy, and he never forgave them.
Well, that would make sense, but no reason to go and send bombs through the mailbox.
Yeah,
Just saying.
universities and bombs and airplanes.
Right.
The Unabomber. A doll feels a little too childlike.
Right.
Any kind.
Yeah.
Right.
Any kind.
The obvious, the sex dolls would
The
be.
word doll
Right.
is what negates it for me.
Well,
Right.
So toys, they have sex toys. Toys are for children.
No, they also have toys for adults.
Like?
Drills.
Right.
Okay.
Big boy toys.
Big boy toys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for the big
Beach
girls,
toys.
Yeah. Okay.
Lake toys.
Okay.
Toys is synonymous across the board. Dolls, 94% associated with children, specifically
Yes.
girls.
Okay.
So it's a little bizarre.
A little weird. To each is their own.
To-
I'm not going to spend $2,700 on one of those real live looking sex dolls. That's just for
I'll
me.
take the bait. How much would you spend?
Yeah.
What is your top out
My top out,
on sex dolls?
If I was to purchase a sex doll, now, obviously, yeah, you could go and get one of those $50 jobbies that they always look surprised or whatever. But I would like to have, if I was going to get one, it would be one of those real dolls, right? But I'm not, maybe $1,000, maybe $1,000, and that's a lot. That's a lot,
right,
man.
Let me, I can speak gimpy. He is not saying he would spend $1,000 on it.
Right.
Okay.
He's saying gun to the head.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Absolutely.
I think if he were going to buy one, that would not be the price point he'd shop at. He's saying if he had like the most,
Right.
it would have to be a utopian world. Probably would have had won $1 billion lottery. Like,
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, if I'm winning a lottery, then yeah, I want to get the high end one, man. Spend, $3,500, get everything that feels real, maybe one that's like got AI and can
If you
talk
won
back
the-
to you a little bit.
If you won the lottery, you wouldn't need to buy a sex doll. You'd have women lined up if you won the lottery.
not if you don't trust people and you don't want them around. You think all they want is money.
Boom. That real life sex doll ain't taking me to the cleaners. I'll be taking her to the cleaners, but she ain't taking me. Nay.
Do you take a job as a rich person sex toy cleaner?
No.
How much are we getting paid? That's the real
Minimum wage.
question.
Minimum wage.
I'm not getting paid $7.50 to go
Everybody needs a job.
to go scrub out some rich person's sex doll.
Okay, but you get to, however, you then get to be in their house when they're not there, like as a house
I
caretaker.
get to use all their
Yeah,
luxuries, so
yeah.
that means I get to drive the cars.
Probably not the cars, but you get to
then-
use their house.
Nah, I'm out then. If all I get is one room.
No,
and I
like
get
they're
to
not
use the-
there, so you can have the kitchen, you get to do the pool, like whatever. When they're not
Absolutely.
there, you're the caretaker.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to sleep in their luxurious bed with their 1,000 count Egyptian cotton
Sure.
sheets. You
They're
see what I'm
not.
saying?
Yeah, but they're not putting a futon
Right.
in your room.
Even then, if I don't have access to all the amenities that you have, we're talking, cars, boats, jet skis, private, planes, whatever, then I don't want any part. If I had access to all that, sure, I'd do it for minimum wage. Why not?
Yeah, young me, access to all that stuff? Sure.
Yeah.
Every job's got hard days. I've told the story. I was a dog walker in San Francisco. The only difference between that job and any other job is I put the crap in my hand. That's the only difference.
Exactly.
Every job has bad things you got to deal with.
Absolutely.
And that one just happens to be the job.
Right. So, it is what it is. But look, I get to throw house parties, when they're gone, invite my friends over.
You're jeopardizing your job at that point.
Absolutely. But, hey, ride the wave while you can, right?
I saw that there's a sex toy, because I have remote control sex toys, but it's always been like a handheld thing.
Right.
Now it's like an app on your phone connected via Bluetooth, and you can do all these like finger like drawing things on it, then transfers to the sexual device with the woman. And I'm like, that's really fascinating. So then I went down the rabbit hole of weird sex toys.
Okay.
They have a rose quartz crystal shaped phallic looking sex toy.
Okay.
So it's, what quartz is, right? It's like countertop.
Yeah.
Very similar to granite, except it's man made. Very shiny, heat resistant, but heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, okay, I'm the only one that thinks that's weird.
It
Okay.
is weird and probably expensive.
$200. Big T's Rub My Ducky Classic. It is for the bathtub. It is a sex toy that looks like a rubber ducky and has a vibration to it. So think of the bill and all the other angles that are on it. Another one, a vibrator in the shape of a hammer.
Whoa. Really puts the meaning to pound it, huh?
Going to Pound Town.
Oh, God.
A tentacle dildo.
I have seen those.
They're
and
so scary.
weird looking, right? And I'm like, why?
This is one for guys. I've never seen this before. It has a name. It's called a Godemeki. And it's a tube. It's got threads for you where you can hold it, like laces almost, like a football. And then the inside's dimply.
Yeah.
A steel faux foxtail plug.
Okay. Those tails are nothing new.
No, but this one looks exactly like a tail.
Oh, my goodness.
A corn on the cob vibrator.
Corn on the cob for the country girl.
It's gone.
It's got
Tell
the
you all
juice.
about it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
Goodness.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see what Gimpy has in his 4x4.
Well, Corbin, it says here that the GOP blasts ICC arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Republicans are calling for sanctions on the International Criminal Court after the body said that it would seek an arrest warrant for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for his handling of the conflict in Gaza. Old Mitch McConnell called on JB to commit to, quote, imposing significant costs on the ICC if it pursues what he called a shameful and baseless charges against Israel Speaker Mike Johnson and his reviewing of all the options to punishment the ICC and ensure leadership faces consequences if they proceed. It says here that the U.S. is monitoring the situation around the Iranian president's death. White House officials say the U.S. had no part to play in the crash that killed Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. Sure. The comment came from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin when he was asked during a news conference yesterday if he's concerned Iran would try to blame the U.S. or Israel for the incident. A helicopter carrying the president and 8 other people, including the Iranian foreign minister, crashed Sunday afternoon, local time, in the mountain province of East Azerbaijan.
What's weird about that story?
All the words I can't pronounce?
No, that's normal. But what's weird about that story is it wasn't us.
You're right.
Right out of the... Sir, we'd like to ask you about the Iranian president. It wasn't us. I don't know. Ugh, weird.
Crazy how that works out.
You're like, wait a minute. I didn't imply.
We didn't blow up the pipeline either.
The whole time he just keeps saying it wasn't us. And they're like, we never...
Right. Is Shaggy playing in the background? Or was it me? It says here that Tesla investors argue against CEO pay package. A group of Tesla investors are urging Tesla shareholders to vote against Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package. The group issued an open letter yesterday criticizing the package as against Tesla's interests, arguing the company's board has failed to rein in Mr. Musk, including his fights with regulators and controversial public statements. That, they say, has led to a decline in the electric automaker's reputation and has had a negative effect on the bottom line. The vote is scheduled for June 13th. And then lastly here, Eaton Square Movie Theater to reopen May 24th with new owners. Eaton Square 6 Cinemas reopening on May 24th after the previous owners shut the doors in January of this year. General Manager Tiffany Jenkins said that the theater will keep the same old school vibe as well as those old school ticket and concession prices. The movie theater struggled through the vid and popularization of streaming services.
Yesterday, Major League Baseball announced the opening of an investigation into former Los Angeles Angels infielder David Fletcher. Fletcher's been alleged to have gambled with an illegal bookie. A report published late last week says Fletcher bet on sports, but not baseball, with Matthew Boyer. Boyer's the same bookmaker who took bets for Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter. The league is at a serious disadvantage in this investigation because they don't have evidence and will be relying heavily on government cooperation. Fletcher currently plays for a AAA affiliate in the Atlanta Braves organization and has the right to refuse cooperation in the investigation.
Would you cooperate?
Ooh. If I didn't have to, probably not.
Gimpy?
I feel like you should. I feel like it's something that you should cooperate regardless.
I mean, I feel like I'm not going to help you try and incriminate me.
Okay.
Right? It's not a police action.
Right.
Exactly.
If you think I've done something, it's on you to figure it out. It isn't me to help you. I'm not here to help you
make me look
And
bad.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to go, hey, if you've done nothing wrong, then.
Exactly.
No, except people get mislabeled all the time.
Right, but instead of just shutting down and be like, no, I'm not going to say anything and let it all work itself out, well, it can work itself out for the bad. And if you cooperate and at least try to tell your side of what's going on, maybe there's a chance that it won't be as bad.
Yeah, but these people's job is not to find you innocent.
Right.
Right.
Their job's to find you guilty.
Yeah. I found not cooperating with authority usually never works out well.
No. This isn't authorities.
Okay.
This is an investigation group within the company.
Right, exactly. It's still a group of authority in that company. It may not be police matter, but it's still authority in that company. And if you don't cooperate with authority, well, you're just not being a team player.
That's right. I'm not. Because you're accusing me of something bad.
And
so
you're fired.
you're not being a team player by accusing me of doing something bad.
Yeah. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning with it. You can whip them like a slave. Whap! You know, right across the face. That's going to hurt.
Get the buckle.
Oh, well, the buckle's good for handle.
Oh, that's true.
I guess I think of the scene from Indiana Jones
Okay.
when Jones is in the street and the guy has the sword and he goes,
He's all over here.
and he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Right.
So
Well, everybody knows you don't bring a belt to a gunfight. However,
apparently you do.
the owner didn't have a gun.
One of them had a gun, right?
Yeah,
The
he did.
bad
He
guy
had-
had a gun, but he
Yeah.
decided not to use the gun. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to take my belt off and whoop him like a step kid. Quote unquote Christian woman arrested at a splash park. This happens in Ohio where cops were called out to the Cedar Point Shores Water Park there in Sandusky. All right, they say that a woman that describes herself as a Christian and a grandmother was arrested because witnesses told her that she called a child a brat, a fat ass, and then pushed him off a floating toy.
I mean, brat,
Right.
fat ass.
And then pushes his tubby ass off the floating toy. Get out of here, fatso. Yeah. So they show up to this water park because this elderly woman, she's 67, and she's picking on this kid. They talked to the mother. Her name's Jennifer. She told them what was going on. And she fingered the 67-year-old woman. She's over there. The cops go over there, and they talk to her. They're like, what's your name? And she says, I am Jennifer Lee Miller. And then she gives them an address, a date of birth, phone number, all the information they're looking for. And she admitted to calling the kid a brat. But she denied swearing at the child and says that she never touched him at all. She says that she's a good Christian woman and a grandmother and would never do such a thing. Anyhow, other witnesses contradicted what Jennifer had to say. And that's when the cops are like, listen, Miss Miller, if we have to come out here again, we're going to arrest you for disorderly conduct. And that's when Jennifer's like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. So the cop leaves. And then I guess something clicked in the cop's brain like, something didn't seem right about this whole situation. So he goes back to the water park. And I guess Jennifer, Ms. Miller, the 67-year-old lady that called the boy a fat ass and a brat and pushed him off the float, she gave him a fake name, a fake address, and a fake phone number.
Christianity.
Right. That just went to busy. I guess the cop tried to call the phone number, and it's all ding, 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 ding. Sorry, you're busy. Anyhow, so they go back and talk to her about it. And she said that she didn't have an ID and that she felt she was being harassed by the police. She eventually admitted her name was Janet Nail, and they took her in for obstruction.
I love when people use whatever thing to validate their behavior or to invalidate their behavior. Like, I would never do that. I'm a teacher.
Right.
I would never do that. I'm a woman.
Right.
I would never do that. I'm a family man. I would never do that. I'm a veteran. I would never do that. I'm a Christian. Like, settle.
People are people, man. People
Yes.
do crazy, stupid things.
Those behaviors or those traits hardly make you incapable of doing bad stuff, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. You can still be a good Christian person and be a douchebag.
Yes.
Teen arrested for setting hotel fire after fighting with mom. This also comes out of Florida, Ocala, Florida, where I guess a 16-year-old girl got in a fight with her mom at like 3:30 in the morning and then goes down into the lobby and sets a sofa on fire. So the police and the ambulance and the fire trucks, everybody comes out, all these emergency crews or whatever. All 320 residents of the hotel, all the guests, were evacuated at 3:30 in the morning.
The witching hour.
So the firefighters came in, and they're battling through the smoke-filled lobby, and they find the fire, the source of it. The couch is on fire. They put it out with their little water can. They say that the damages cost a couple of $100,000 to this couch, and the wall that was behind it totally scorched, burnt up. Pictures are on our Facebook page. They ended up arresting the girl. They didn't say what the girl and the mom were fighting over, and they didn't say what led to, her wanting to set the couch on fire. My guess is probably just angry teen and probably had some alcohol involved in there somewhere. That's just my theories on it. Nonetheless, they went ahead and arrested her for arson, and the investigation continues.
So many things on this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let you get your luggage. Like, you went out of the hotel, and then they're like, you can't go back in.
Right.
So you got to go find a place without your stuff.
Right.
Wallet probably.
Right.
Credit cards probably.
Maybe your phone.
And so all you're in is your skirt, your tidy whities or whatever.
So you're talking about the 320 guests that were evacuated. They did let them all go back in. All the guests were allowed to go back into their room and go back to sleep after it was all said and done.
I'm shocked by that because the sprinkler system has gone off, and it flooded the floor.
The lobby area, though. Just the first floor and that lobby area. Anybody
still feels like danger, Will
2
Robinson.
through 9. Oh, I totally get you. Smoke damage, smoke inhalation, whatever. I was surprised that they let them all go back in as well, but that's what they said.
Dude, I was unaware that sprinkler systems in a building go off by floor.
Yeah, I thought it was all automatic
at one time.
everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe this is a different one, but the story did say that they let all 320 guests or everybody that was evacuated go back to their room later on that morning, probably about 5:30 or so. Still, 3:30 in the morning, you woke up, you're probably on vacation.
Sure.
You gotta evacuate. Everybody go meet in the parking lot over there by the 4th
Bob Evans.
street light.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then you're waiting there for hours. After they get everything cleaned up,
Smoke fills the whole place.
Oh yeah. And they're like, you can go back. I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I'm gonna check out and go find another place. And then we'll deal with reimbursement after this.
All right. Then the other thing I was thinking about, your kid does this. What do you do?
What's the punishment?
Right. We'll deal with this when we get home.
How old was the girl?
16.
Yeah, like, what do you do?
You're grounded. Grounded
no
for
screens.
Arson.
Yeah.
Right. She's 16 and went to jail for arson. So chances are this parent or the parents are going to be like, well, she went to jail and she's being charged. And they're probably going to take out the couple $100,000 worth of damage out of her
allowance. That's a whole, right?
Right.
It feels too late. Like, you already, she's
so
already.
give up. Okay. Give up on your kid. Okay.
No. I'm not saying that.
Hey, you're a lost cause. I tried.
Yeah, that's what you
16
said.
years.
It's too late.
Why don't you go live on the streets with the rest of the crackheads?
No, but I mean, like, it's too late to be like, you're grounded for, you know what I mean? Like,
well, typically punishments come after the infraction.
Sure, but she's in jail.
It'd be weird to ground your kid like you're a precog or something for something that hasn't happened yet.
She's in jail.
I don't know what you did yet, but you're grounded. I know you're going to do something. You're grounded.
I hope jail kind of wakes her up a bit.
Well, she's not going to jail.
She did. They arrested her.
But she went to juvie.
Right.
Okay.
And she probably may not spend a whole lot of time
which
in there.
is an education system.
Right.
I mean, there's probably going to be big time fine. She's going to have to go to court.
Her parents will pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will not be paying. That's what I'm saying. Like, she is going to be released probably to their
Yeah.
She'll be paying it
supervision.
back. If she's my kid.
No, she won't be paying back.
If she's my kid, she is.
No.
She's going to be working it off. Hard labor.
For 40 years?
Busting rocks in the backyard.
This isn't you bought her an iPhone.
Right.
Tink.
This is, as Gimpy said, if not 2 commas, it is definitely 100,000. She would be paying back forever.
You owe me every paycheck for the rest of your life.
Well, that makes no sense either.
When you retire, I want your retirement. I want your 401k.
See what I'm saying? Like, it just creates all these questions.
There's only 2 ways that you can pass a whiz quiz without using some kind of illegal substance. And that is one.
Broccoli?
No.
Oh.
Just naturally stopping. Okay. And cleaning yourself out.
Surefire,
that way.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's like, abstinence is the only way to guarantee not getting pregnant. Nonetheless, the other way, which is only good for like an hour or 2, maybe a day, is a flush. And that's just to drink a buttload of water, because when you do that, you're not urinating anything for your test, but just straight water.
Well, that's why when you buy those pee cleans, they're like, drink a ton of water, because it isn't that. It's the flushing. Have you ever taken a marijuana drug test,
Yeah.
Lindsay? Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Rocklahoma is happening Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 1st. It's an all-ages show, so do toddlers need a ticket? Find out everything you need to know. And if toddlers need a ticket, can we bring strollers? Find out what you can bring and what you can't bring. Everything at the website that rocks Lahoma, KMOD.com. And we've got links to Rocklahoma's website as well. It is the loudest weekend of the year. You do not want to miss it. KMOD.com for all of the information and, of course, the lineup as well.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. While you're there looking at the Rocklahoma lineup and seeing if you can bring strollers into the festival grounds, you can sign up to win free stuff at the website thatrockskmod.com. Right there on the contest page. Anything from corn tickets, Ice Nine Kills, or even Coheed and Cambria when they played the Hard Rock in September.
All right, listener emails. You can always email us, show@kmod.com. We read an email on the air, and then you guys help give advice. A couple ways to do that. Texting BMMS and then what you want to say to the phone number 82945 seems to be the most popular way. You can also call at 918-460-KMOD. This email says, I met this girl at a concert here in town. Excuse me, we went to a bar after with her friends. And come to find out, she doesn't live here. She lives in North Carolina. She was here visiting friends and just happened to be at the show. Since then, we've talked a lot, and I'm planning on driving to see her over Memorial Day weekend. My buddies think I'm crazy to drive 17 hours to see any girl, and that there's no way it'll work out. Is it worth it for me to drive to see her?
17 hours is a long drive.
Also, vagina.
Right.
Vagina.
So, yes,
Yeah.
but when you subtract vagina, it's really like 2 hours.
Sure.
When I was in college, I met a girl at my school, and she was visiting a friend, not from there, and she lived in Duluth, Minnesota.
Okay.
And I went to school in Maryville, Missouri. My parents lived in Cedar Falls, Iowa. So 6 hours south of Cedar Falls is where I went to college. For those geographically troubled, Duluth is north of Cedar Falls. And this was before MapQuest and all that. You used a thing called an atlas.
Right.
It was an actual rather large book of maps that had all the states in it if you were going to drive, so you drove a lot. And so I looked at, and it didn't tell you how long it took to get anywhere.
Right. You just had to highlight it. Use a highlighter to highlight your route.
Yeah.
Which highways you're going to be taking.
And some guessing, a little math, right? And so I looked at it and went, it's only a few hours, like 3 hours from Cedar Falls. It's not. It's near 7.
So here you are on a 13-hour embarkment to go meet up with this guy?
No, I'd gone home for whatever
Oh, okay.
for the summer.
Okay.
And then or whatever was going on. And then was like, I'll just jaunt up there.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's like going to Oklahoma City.
No, it is not. And I remember being 4 hours in, because I didn't bring the atlas, because my parents didn't know where I was going. And I can't take the family's map, atlas. And so I was just driving, and it took forever to get there. And to this day, I don't remember this person's name. If they came up and kicked me square in the nuts, I wouldn't remember them.
Do you remember the moments that you had, though? I mean, i.e., did you get some while you was up there?
I remember 2 things. We went to do stuff and went shopping, and Alice in Chains had that CD with the neon green case.
Yeah.
I bought that.
Oh, that's nice.
And I remember she stayed in this house, like with I don't know if it was her mom or her grandma or whatever, and I remember being in her room, and she went to school, and her mom or whoever this older woman was coming into the room, I guess to clean it up, pick it up. I don't know, and was quite shocked that I was there.
Who are you? Where's my daughter?
So those are the 2 pivotal moments that stick out in my mind. So I've been in this situation, not 17 hours, a third of what you will be doing. But driving to go see girls is a long storied tradition in the chase.
Oh, yeah. You'd do just about anything for a little poontang.
Have you ever had a boy travel to see you a long distance, Lindsay?
Yes. The longest distance was 6 hours, which to me doesn't feel
Okay.
that long. It was when I was living in Minnesota and he was in Indiana, and we were both, he was my high school sweetheart at the time, and he was going to school down south in Indiana, and I was going to school in Minnesota, and we happened to have broken up, but we missed each other, and it was literally for just one last weekend together. Yeah.
You
See if we-
mispronounced bang.
Exactly. One last bang. Pretty much.
Gimpy?
I have never driven or had anybody drive a long distance for me. The most that I've ever done was I ran 8 miles to get some ass.
Which is a giant, I feel like, still in the same arena.
Absolutely.
Might as well have been. Might as well have been a 17-hour car ride. This is when I was just graduated. And this girl that I knew I had a crush on or whatever, and we were friends or whatnots, but that didn't, I was still trying, something was, anyway. So I guess she booty called me. She was like, hey, I need you. And I'm like, I didn't bet. I'm there. I didn't have a ride. I was at a friend's house, lived way out in the middle of nowhere in Owasso, and the person that I was going to go see lived in town. And I wake my buddy up. I'm like, bro, give me a ride. What? Why? I need to go. Give me a ride. No way, dude. I'm not getting up. Well, I'm not missing my opportunity because I've been chasing this one for a while now, right? Now I finally got the chance.
All right, I got it on the line. I'm bringing this into the boat.
Oh, yeah. So I take off. And it...
8 miles is no joke.
I want to say it was like maybe midnight or shortly after midnight when I got that call, and I think I got there as the sun was coming up. Like it was first light when I come rolling up into this house.
Because a good runner can do a 5K, which is 3.2 miles, in like 20 minutes. A piss poor runner like myself does it in about 35.
I walk and run. You get that cramp in your side, and I'm just limping along on the side of the road or whatever, trying to make my way. Needless to say, I made it.
Meanwhile, she's moved on to family and kids since when he got there.
Right. I made it, and things worked out for me. It was great. And then she lived like right across the street from my house, right, where I was living at the time. So I just left there and went to my house and crawled in my own bed. And boy, I think I slept all day after that.
Yeah, probably had to ice your quads. You hit something that I think is very interesting. What's the longest distance someone has? You have to reverse it. So, Lindsay, you traveled to see a boy, or Gimpy said he ran and no one's ran to him.
Nobody runs to me.
The only one that I can think of, I mean, I'm discounting my marriage because that worked out, I guess. But I had a girl fly from L.A. to see me.
And you were located where?
In Maryville, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know she was showing up.
One of those, huh? Ooh.
Yeah. Lindsay?
An hour for me to travel to see someone.
Like in the same town, like
No.
the DMA?
No, it was from South Dakota to back to Minnesota. I traveled from Sioux Falls to Minneapolis. That was it. Yeah.
Some text coming in. Yes. One of the many things all men wish they could tell their younger self. If it takes you longer to travel and see them than it takes you to have sex, then it just isn't worth it. Ooh.
I think it was worth it. At least in my experience, it was, but whatever.
Yeah, I love this text. I laugh every time Gimpy tells this story. I picture a young Gimpy jinkoed up with chains rattling and sweaty long hair running down the side of 169.
That's practically how it was.
Make the trip to see her. 1, it will work out, or 2, it will be a good vacation. It might be a good vacation.
It's definitely adventure and a story that you have to tell.
Yeah, and he could maybe
Let's not give advice.
if he's been talking to this girl a long time.
I rode my bike 60 miles to see my girlfriend just to get broken up with. I still won't ride a bike.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
We should clarify. I think they mean bicycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oof.
Like a 10 speed.
Reasonable answer. 17 hours each way is not reasonable. Good point, because I only thought it was 17 there. I didn't think round trip.
Yeah.
But matters of the heart rarely are. Romance isn't dead. Nuclear answer. You should probably go for a little post-sex clarity before you decide to make this trip. I bet there's a slag in the bar nearby that will give it to you. 1, no. Also, no. Check KMOD.com for more local shows and local chicks. Another one, I say, why not? Look at it as a road trip with benefits at the end. Farthest I've traveled, this text says, was 5 hours round trip, worth every bit of the 47 seconds. 47?
Man,
You bragger.
forever. The stamina on this guy, huh?
Nothing is great sex left, like after sitting in the same spot for 17 hours and then
Right.
peeling those things off. If you feel a strong connection with her, then nothing is too far. Are you supposed to grow up in the same town you were born, settle down with a person from that town, grow old and die? The perfect person is for you is out there somewhere. Just might not be around the block. Get out and get her, bro. I mean, that is one of the things about, if you look at the genetic arc of communities, is you typically marry someone within your community, right?
Yeah.
And you don't explore out. So their point is well taken.
Yeah.
But typically that's what people do.
Right, because they're close. You want to, see them at any point in time. That's not FaceTime. Hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee. You can't grab a cup of coffee with somebody who's 17 hours away.
Right.
I mean, but with modern technology, yeah, you could FaceTime and you could do video chat and this and that and the other, but is that really the same?
Another text. I went from Columbia, South Carolina to Wheeling, West Virginia for a girl. In high school, me and 2 buddies dated girls in Parkersburg, Iowa. I lived in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Parkersburg, Iowa is about a 40-minute drive, just a small town, like maybe 400 people, right? Mm-hmm. And we just coincidentally were dating one of the girls from this town. And so we would make regular road trips out there in my friend Aaron Brindle's gray Ford Pinto,
Pinto, yeah.
with one light, and the dash didn't work.
Yeah.
The number of times we got pulled over by police or got in fights in Parkersburg, Iowa, because it's a small town and we were from the city, and they didn't like we were dating their girls. Tamara, I think, was one of the girls' names. I don't remember. And I can't say it shaped me in any way, good or bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just remembered another flash of driving. We weren't supposed to go to Parkersburg, Iowa. We were supposed to stay in Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Well, yeah. But listen.
Highway Patrol calls and says, Corbin's died in a car accident. Where? Parkersburg, Iowa. Well, no, he wouldn't have gone to Parkersburg. Have a great day. Click. Listener email from someone who says, I met this girl at a concert here in town. We went to the bar and hit it off. Come to find out, she doesn't live here. She lives in North Carolina, and she was visiting friends and just happened to be at the show. Since then, we've talked, and I'm planning on driving to see her over Memorial Day. My buddies think that I am crazy to drive 17 hours to see any girl, and there's no way it will work out. Is it worth it for me to drive to see her? Lindsay.
So, I mean, I don't know what's stopping him from taking a plane. It says here you can find round trip flights for as little as $250.
Hey, moneybags. Not everybody's got that.
That is true. That is true. But hey, I mean, long distance relationships can work better than what they used to with, like what Gimpy said, with FaceTime now. So, and that is a huge accomplishment, I think, if you can make a long distance relationship work. But you know, if you've been talking to her and you really feel that you have a connection with her, then yeah, it's worth it. If you've got the time and can do it, you have a 3-day weekend ahead, go for it. Why not? And life is too short. So you may as well take in the experience, especially if you've never been to North Carolina. Go see the world. You only live once. You know, when Kevin and I were just dating, I got a job in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I said, hey, do you want to move to Tulsa, Oklahoma with me? We were only dating. And he said, what the hell is in Oklahoma? And I said, I don't know. I've never been there. Never been there. And I just moved here. And he said, check it out. And he said, see if you like it. And in 6 months, yeah, I'll come with you. I love you enough. He waited 1 month, and here he was. He came down, sold the house that he had just bought for us, and he couldn't handle it. So
that I feel like is a completely different scenario. One, he'd already had a taste of the medicine. Two, you had bought a house together.
Yeah, that is true.
You were in a committed relationship.
We were, definitely.
So it feels a little different than I just met somebody.
Yeah, but it can work. So I say go for it. I mean, if it doesn't bother you to drive 17 hours, I mean, it is a long time. That is a long ass drive. But if you think it's going to be worth it, then go for it. I say do it.
Gimpy.
Unless either one of you plans on moving to one person's location or the other, chances of this long-distance relationship working is very slim. My opinion, anyway. But I am with Lindsay on the hell yes, take this road trip and go. Go. You've got a couple of extra days. Think about the adventure along the way. You know, yeah, sure. You've got this big golden star at the end of this journey there. That may or may not pan out. Come to find out, you know, she could be, taken or just not interested or whatever, you know. But hey, if you can get some out of it, go for it. But at least you have one hell of an adventure along the way, traveling all those areas. And you've got one hell of a story to tell your friends and family later on down the road. So I say go for it and have fun and just go from there.
And do a check-in when you get back. Let us know what happened.
Sure.
I don't think I disagree with your friends. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you're going to be like, this is the person. I'm going to move to South Carolina. It's going to be amazing. You could get there and she have a boyfriend, or she be in the KKK, or is in a knitting group. Or I'm just saying, like, you don't know. And I agree with Lindsay, like, you can do a lot of video chatting, and that does help relationships. I don't know any guys who have been like, yeah, we haven't had sex, but we have had video sex a bunch of times. Nothing replaces the actual sex. With all that being said, absolutely go. Because you live once. It's going to end tomorrow, man. There is no promise you are going to wake up in the morning. None. So you might as well go and experience it and see what it's like so you can have a crazy story that when you tell it on the air, your wife will then text you and go, what is he talking about right now? Right? So I say live your best life. Life comes at you fast, man. 1 minute you're doing fine. The next, they're taking out your pancreas. You don't know what's going to happen. So go after it. If you just know it may go south pretty fast. You could have car problems. Your car break down in the middle of, Tennessee or northern Alabama. And then you find someone there. Ever seen Doc Hollywood?
Yeah.
Right.
So you never know what's going to happen. But you have to be up for the adventure and knowing that the adventure is the payoff, not the end. Because she could be bad at sex. Not a popular thing to say on the radio, but she could have a stinky vagina.
That you traveled 17 hours to find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's part of the story,
Or
of the
doesn't
adventure.
believe in shaving.
Yeah.
Or showering.
I drove 17 hours to meet up with a stinky hippie.
Or she's
North
really close to her
Carolina.
brother.
Ew.
I'm just saying, you don't know. And you're going to go and commit to being around that person 24/7. Just go experience it, but just understand it could go south real fast. Because life comes at you fast, man. But yeah, absolutely go. If you think she's hot and you think she's cool, go for it. Just know it may not work out.
You're really hammering that point home.
I just think people go in with this expectation of it's going to be awesome. And that's the wrong focus. The focus has to be the adventure part.
Yeah.
Not the 47 seconds as you peel off your 17-hour underwear. Because you're banging right when you get there.
Right.
All right. You can always email us, show@kmod.com.
Tulsa's Morning Show.
It's just painful. That's all I can identify.
That's it.
It's my testicle. It's painful, full stop.
That's it. Nothing
Right?
more, nothing less.
Classic Eddie Murphy, man. Guys get hit in the balls if it's just you barely graze it. Guys will go, but did that just hit my... Ah!
Is that like when you get it twisted, when one gets twisted? Like,
Oh, no.
That's a different thing.
That can happen while you're sleeping.
yeah, that happened to a kid in school, in elementary school.
Yeah.
And he had to have it removed, I think.
It typically, if it can't be, which it's weird to say this with you're using a child reference, is
Yeah.
it has to be massaged.
Oh.
But a surgery sometimes is necessary to untie it.
Testicular torsion
Yeah.
occurs when the testicle rotates, twisting the spermatic cord that brings blood to the scrotum. Reduced blood flow causes sudden and often severe pain and swelling. Testicular torsion is most common between the ages 12 and 18, but can occur at any age, even before birth.
So
Wow.
like what happened is like a Karen went to God and was like, "Hey, this feels hardly fair.
Yeah.
Once a month I'm bleeding. I got to carry a kid and grow an organ inside me and then dispose of it. Can we even this out?" And he's like, "I could tie his balls in a knot for a 6-year period."
Right. Like you gotta
Maybe.
give him something to worry about. Please.
I'm good. I'm good on all that.
Do you know anybody that's ever gotten that gimpy?
I do. My nephew, as a matter of fact, came out that way and had to have surgery to get it fixed.
Oh, out of the womb.
Yeah.
So they had to do surgery
Yeah.
on a baby.
On a baby. They had to go
On a
cut
baby's
his little
balls.
baby balls open. Yeah.
Listen, they were already doing the top part, so
Right.
Yeah.
Might
At least
as well.
He'll
Just-
never remember it.
Maybe. Yeah.
know?
Maybe deep-seated down in there somewhere. Maybe some hypnotherapy can bring it back. I don't know. But yeah.
I mean,
bizarre.
I hear you, but psychologically, they say those type of things live with you.
Right.
That you may not remember it, but your brain does.
Yeah, it's stored in the memory bank somewhere deep down inside.
Yeah. Much like they were like, nah, C-sections are fine. It doesn't affect the baby at all.
That explains what we're
Nah,
listening to.
it doesn't.
Yeah, it
How?
absolutely does.
How?
They don't get the gut flora.
You know, that white
They don't.
cheese that's
They
covered
don't
over
get
the baby.
the bacteria from your vagina.
Right.
Vag bag.
They don't.
I get that.
They don't. And so those babies tend to have more digestive problems.
Interesting.
Go down the rabbit hole. Nobody does more C-sections on the planet than America.
We're in a hurry. Turn and burn, man. Turn and burn.
I can't be inconvenienced. I got golf.
Right. Tea time at 4 o'clock. Let's get that baby out of here. Co-pilot was visibly upset before leaving plane in midair. So this comes out of North Carolina, where there's these two dudes, a pilot and his co-pilot, a 23-year-old dude by the name of Charles Crooks. So these guys were running a skydiving operation, and they're in the plane, and they'd already dropped off and picked up 2 sets of people, and they're on their way to pick up the third one. Well, the co-pilot is actually the one that's operating the plane he at this point in time. So the co-pilot comes in for a landing, and it was a hard landing. Kaboom! Ended up breaking the landing gear.
Yeah, I remember the story.
Okay, happened in late July. So the pilot takes the controls, tries to get it back up in the air, back up to 400 feet. Meanwhile, while the pilot is trying to get things under control, he tells old Chuck here, hey, why don't you get on the horn with air traffic control, let them know, hey, we need to divert an emergency landing. Well, instead of doing that, Chuck opens up the window and then barfs out the side. Typical, okay, the guy's shooken up a little
adrenaline
bit.
dump. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the pilot's like, hey, bro, get it under control. Get these people, on the horn. We need to make a landing.
Together, man.
Yeah, instead, he decides to go ahead and lower the ramp from the back of the plane. And that's when old Chuck got up and then takes his headset off, starts walking to the back of the plane, apologizes, and jumps the hell out. Now, Chuck, the pilot did end up landing the plane in a field. Chuck was found in the back of somebody's backyard as a dismembered mess, and the incident is still under investigation.
Yeah. So, did he just go crazy in that moment?
I guess they said that he felt really bad for the hard landing, which I understand.
And the guilt just overtook him to just jump out of the plane?
Yeah, overtook him. Said that he was visibly upset and just possibly.
Drugs feels like a better answer. I'll do you one better. Falling airplane part barely misses officer at Maine state capitol. So a police officer is lucky to be alive after he was standing just a few feet when a 6 to 7 pound steel sleeve smashed into the ground outside the main entrance of the Capitol on Friday. An officer who works as a screener to the building was walking less than 10 feet from where the part fell. The FAA is investigating and says the part is likely from a large airliner on an international route. Or so they'd like you to think.
Is that common for parts of planes to just fall off like that? I've seen other stories where, the landing gear fell off and, ended up going through somebody's roof or something. But I feel like that's just every now and again.
This says things fall off aircraft every day. The Navy recorded an average of 460 incidents per year in the 80s. In the commercial world, Boeing received 200 reports of structural parts falling off its planes between 1989 and 1984, so a 5-year period.
Okay, so in the 80s, it seemed different because in the 80s there were a lot of plane crashes. Pan Am being one of the airlines that seemed like they had a bunch of crashes, which I didn't think was right, but I mean, whatever.
I think that the number of plane crashes every year isn't a lot.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but hold on, I'm getting to the 80s. We'll just go 86.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh, God. We're at a baker's dozen.
Yeah, but do you know how many flights there are a day?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot.
Thousands.
It's okay. So 13 out of 1,000, but still, man.
In a year.
Okay.
So times that by 365. That's not very many, bro.
I guess. It just seemed like in
It's
the news
literally
there
the
was always-
safest way to travel.
Says you.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listener emails, you can always email us, show@kmod.com. This email says, I've been hearing you guys talk about just be yourself and talk to your partner. But how do you start talking when it's going to be an awkward conversation? I want to bring up to my partner that I want to try having another person in our bed. We've been married for 5 years and have no complaints. It's just a fantasy I've always wanted to try. I know it's going to be awkward. I'm just lost on how to start it. I would love to help you with this. Because the beauty is, whatever we throw out there, we don't know if it works or not.
Right.
I don't have to deal with the face you're going to witness.
Right.
When it's said. So what's some starter sentences that this person can go with on how to start a conversation with their partner that they're married to, that apparently they have no problems, that they'd like to invite another human being into their bed?
You know how chicken nuggets and ranch go really well together?
Okay.
You ever think about adding some barbecue sauce on top of the chicken nuggets with the ranch?
No, but I do love hot sauce with ranch.
Right? See? Sometimes adding an extra something to something that's already good makes it even better. And you don't have to have it all the time, but sometimes I want some hot sauce with my ranch on my chicken nugs. So, what do you say? Want to add some hot sauce to this chicken nugget ranch we got going on here?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work, but
I'm excited to see what people have got for advice on, like, how do you start a conversation that you're about to throw a grenade into their life.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. So, it said they've been together like, what, 5 years? I think
Yeah,
is what it
something like
said.
that, yeah.
Married
Okay.
5 years.
Married 5 years. Okay.
And everything's fine.
According to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny thing about everything's fine. Short of you checking in with your partner every day.
Well, like, how do you even pick that, man? Be like, all right, so you do. Let's say she goes for it, right? She's like, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and add another person, right? How do you pick that person? Do you let them pick that person? Do you pick that person? Is it one of their friends? Is it a total stranger? These are all things you got to think about.
See, this is the thing that I think people don't think about when they want to rock someone's world with a question, is they want to form the question to get the answer they want.
Right.
Rather than, are you prepared for their response? Because as you just said, what if that person, assuming it's a she, is like, yes.
Right.
Thank gosh. I'm psyched. I got just the lady.
Or I got
Or dude.
just the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says maybe find some PG-rated movies that have threesomes as the story.
Do those exist? What?
PG?
Maybe.
You mean like
PG-13.
Marley and me? Or me, myself, and Irene?
That one worked out all right.
This says better be careful with that conversation. It could go sideways real quick.
Absolutely.
If it goes, in my opinion, if it goes sideways real quick, then your marriage was already in problems.
Right.
You should be able to say anything to in a judgment-free zone.
Absolutely. But with something as shocking as that, I mean, it could go sideways. You get something thrown at you. You know, get that as a hell no,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you're getting hit with a candle.
I'm just of the belief that if someone's going to throw something at you that you're married to, that you're supposed to be there till death do us part, and the response is probably going to be something thrown at you,
Right.
you may not be the ones.
Right.
That's not what love is throwing things at each other.
This text says, what if she wants another man? Are you prepared to say yes back to her? Right? Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, you know?
Just because you have two sauces doesn't mean you have to put your meat in both. That's a text coming in.
Hey. Try barbecue and ranch together and then tell me.
Yeah. The people for peanut butter and chocolate fought that theory for a long time.
Right?
If the emailer is male, grow some testes and just spit it out. If a woman, grow some ovaries and suck it up. Closed mouths don't get fed. And the person texting that is it's like the most hilarious text ever from him.
Right.
Details matter. If it's another woman, just to spice things up is a lot different than another dude because you yourself are curious. What's the context? They're saying that if it's a man, like you want another man, that's different than if you want another woman to join.
I don't think it's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing, and it's only one's insecurities with sexuality.
Yeah.
Don't start the conversation. The Notebook was about threesomes. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
One girl wanted to be with two separate men.
Yeah.
Were they ever together at the same time?
No.
I've never seen the movie, so I don't know.
No, and it was she had the love of her life, and then her mom wanted her to be with someone else. And she ended up
Cheating whore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reasonable answer. This is your partner with whom you share everything. Just take a deep breath and start. Nuclear answer. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Bring in the side chick, blindfold your partner, and lead her into the room where the side chick is. Everyone loves surprises, right? No. Happily married, but wants a threesome. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be happily married for long. My friend did this, and his wife left him for the threesome chick.
Oh, damn.
Again, life comes at you fast.
Yeah.
You didn't realize you loved pate, and then you eat pate, and you're like, whoa.
Yep.
I mean, they could be happily. It's like the divorce, getting divorced that's amicable.
Right.
It's only happy until it isn't.
Right.
Lying, cheating whore. Somebody text in. Whatever you do, make sure you say specifically what you want. Last thing you want is to expect a second woman and end up with another man that has more packing. Don't ask how I know.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. You just end up sitting cucked in the corner. Oh,
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And I think that is an interesting statement. Not all women want a guy with a bigger penis.
Right.
Some are terrified of it.
Yeah. But if he can do things better than what you can do, which there's probably a good chance that he can do at least one thing better than you.
Yeah, it also maybe take nails out of a board.
We're not talking about carpentry here.
Hi, honey. Question. I know things are going great, but I'm bored. Instead of us trying some spicy food or skydiving, would it be cool if you watch me rail some other chick in our bed? You're an idiot in the PFOG, and she will automatically think you already have someone in mind you want to bang.
Of course he already has somebody in mind, whether it's a coworker or one of his friends.
Or her friends.
Exactly.
Just ask their thoughts on it. If you can't have a conversation because you're scared of the response, you're in the wrong relationship. Last text here. On a night out, pick someone out and tell your partner if you can pick the other person up, then bring them home. Win-win. Whoa!
Turn it into a game. I like it.
So out of nowhere, you're going to fly the idea, hey, that feels like a well-thought-out plan. You're just, floating out there.
Oh, I like it. You go out and you have some drinks, right? And you get her a little tipsy to where she's a little more agreeable on things or whatnot. And you just kind of hey, let's just play a game real quick. If there's anybody in
Coerciveness,
this bar,
I love it.
Yeah, if you could pick up anybody in this bar to take home with us and join us in a fantasy land, who would it be? And if she, the wife says, whoa, okay, this is fun. All right, fine. How about that blonde over there? All right, see if you can do it. And then go from there.
All right, listener email from a guy who says that he has heard us talk about, just be yourself and talk to your partner. But how do you start talking when it's going to be an awkward conversation? I want to bring up my partner that I want to try having another person in our bed. We've been married for 5 years and have no complaints. It's just a fantasy I have always wanted to try. I know it's going to be awkward. I'm just lost on how to start it. Lindsay.
So you've been married to your partner for 5 years, and this has been a fantasy of yours forever, and you've just wanted to try it, and your partner doesn't know. Your partner should already know that this has been a fantasy of yours, in my opinion.
You think you know all your husband's fantasies?
Yeah. Good. I mean, after 20 years, definitely.
You think you know them.
And this is, and a lot of them we've fulfilled, I think. And this, to me, 5 years, everything's great. It ain't great. If this is what you feel like you need, then she's not sexually satisfying you. You are not fulfilled in your marriage. And I find it really hard to believe that she doesn't know that this is one of that you guys haven't talked about this in the past. You haven't been honest with your partner. So shame on you in the first place.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just in general to the point you're making. Do you like trying new restaurants?
I love it.
Why? You have one you like. It should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Why try a new restaurant?
Because I've heard wonderful things about it. But I ain't sharing my man with no other woman.
I get that. I'm not condoning that. I'm saying it's a human desire to want to try new things.
Sure. But there's a line.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And usually, and it's not, and it's a restaurant you're trying, it's not something, you might be trying a new restaurant, but you're trying the same type of foods that you've already had. Does that make sense?
No.
It's not like, you've already had a prime rib.
Right, you just want to see what a prime rib tastes with the other woman.
Nah.
Gimpy.
There's only one way to get into this conversation. It's like a Band-Aid. You just rip it off and get right on into it. It's going to be uncomfortable, and there could be some words thrown back and forth. You're taking her by surprise. I don't think there's any real way you could ease into something like this, because you're going to ease into it, and then you're going to finally ask the question, and then it's going to be a, holy hell, what? Oh, okay, I didn't know that this is where we were going. So you might as well just be like a Band-Aid, rip it right off, and then ask the question. You do have to be prepared for that sounds awesome. I work with a guy named Steve, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. Let's get him involved. You're going to have to prepare yourself for that one, because it's like, I was thinking of another lady. Oh, again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
There's this great theory of like, you could, but should you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with having a filter. And there's nothing wrong with going, the worst case scenario, would it be worth it? Let's say, to me, it's a big thing to plan things out on how they could go. You bring this up, she likes it, she leaves like somebody texted in, or another guy comes in and she likes that guy. You don't know. Mm-hmm. So paint whatever the worst case scenario is. Think about that, and are you okay with that? Then ask her. But just because you could doesn't mean you should. The juice ain't always worth the squeeze. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Most of the time, it just looks like it's green, and it's really brown.
Piss stained.
Yeah. We've all had our examples of we think something's better, and then you go do it, and you're like, well, that wasn't better. I like the prime rib I ate at the same place. Why am I going to this new place? Well, because they dressed the steak up with some sardine butter, anchovy butter or something. I don't know. Email us, show@kmod.com. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
Let's rock. More of the Big Mad
Stuff.
It's not like a Chick-fil-A, right? Like you go, there are towns that just don't have Chick-fil-A's. I would bet almost every town has a Subway sandwich shop.
And if you're putting too much mayonnaise on mine, I'm giving you a tip. If I don't have to ask for it,
here's the deal. You can tell them to stop anytime because
Yeah.
you're sitting there watching them make your sandwich. You see how much of everything that they put on. You could have been like, whoa, 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 dial it back on the mayonnaise,
Yeah.
man.
Or you can say light mayo. Or
Right, but what's light mayo?
light on the mayo.
Yeah, but how much is
so
light? Your light
a
and
little
my light are
squirt.
not the same.
Yeah.
And I'm the artist here.
All right. These are the most
True.
popular sandwich chains in America. Okay? This is what it says. Blimpie? Have you ever had a Blimpie?
Yeah.
I have, but it's not most popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most locations,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I can name my favorite sandwich shop, but it's not everywhere.
Right.
And I would wager the majority of people in this town have never eaten at it, right? So you can't go with most popular. You have to have which sandwich shop has the most locations.
Largest sandwich chain in the U.S. Oh, here we go. Fun. This is as of 2020, so it's a couple of years old. But it says largest sandwich chain. So does that quantify?
I think so, yeah.
As it could be.
Sure.
Okay. Continue to the site. Subway comes in at number 6.
Oh.
It has their rankings on
What's
here.
number one?
I got to scroll down. It doesn't have the number 1 listed on the quick list.
Well, what's number 5?
Listen, here's how it goes. 6, 18, 34, 46, 58, 63, 69, 89, 99, 100. There's nothing really. It says
Okay,
rank in
okay,
there.
okay, okay. So, all right. So the list you're looking at, those are sandwich ones on the list. So the number 1 sandwich shop is Subway, but it comes on number 6 of all, like probably fast food.
Probably so. U.S. sales and U.S. units. Subway did 10,000. This is the 2019 numbers. Did $10,000 in 2019 with 23,801 units. So is that sandwiches sold?
Or locations. Here's the thing: is when you go. There's been many times I haven't said light mustard or whatever, but sometimes I get more and sometimes I get less. There's no consistency with the.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of that's on the sandwich maker, sandwich artist, whatever you want.
I am confident that after her 2 weeks of working there, she had diligent training.
She sat back there and watched the videos, man, before she started the job.
There's no video.
There's no orientation videos.
Watch Spider. Make sure you powder your balls. We're changing. It's not patio parties. It's now powder your balls parties.
I like that. Are you going to bring the powder? Are you going to be doing the powdering? Who's powdering?
Every patio party
Powder
since the
before you
age of
come.
time.
Right.
Every single one.
Powder them up.
Absolutely.
Do you just like put a pile on like the counter and just kind of dip like you would your donuts and your coffee?
No.
Or?
So what I do is I put it in my hand, right? And then I waddle into the carpeted area in the closet, right?
Okay.
And then I have to it's kind of like a squat.
Okay.
And then I do the sides.
Okay.
And then I go underneath.
Okay. No padding at all whatsoever. Just kind of.
No padding.
Okay.
It's not padding. It's not playtime.
Well, what you do in your carpeted part of your closet is your business.
And then whatever's left
Is it a
goes in
rub?
my armpits.
Okay. Makes sense.
If it's not a pad, is it a rub down?
That's what I said. I said rub. Yeah, on
Right,
each side.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. What are you, a patter?
I'm not a patter. I'm not even a powder.
Dude.
I'm a sprayer.
Dude.
I'm a sprayer. I got the talc spray, man.
No. Dude, going with powder is a game changer.
You say that now, but on a steamy, balmy day like it has been, you get that cold spray on your boys.
That's temporary relief.
Yeah.
I'm talking long lasting.
Yeah, but I mean, it has the powder in it, and it does last a while. But that initial shock of the freezing cold air blasting in my balls feels great. Don't knock it till you try
What is
it.
the movement is what I'm worried about.
What, do you think it's going to blast them off like
Could
a
freak-
sandblaster?
Yes, I know. I don't want a cold burn. Airport runway worker killed after being sucked into the airplane engine.
Yikes.
Federal officials are investigating the weekend death of a grounds worker at the Alabama airport. NTSB said the worker at Montgomery Regional Airport was killed after he was sucked into the engine of an airplane. It happened Saturday afternoon, according to the NTSB. The American Airlines plane had just arrived from DFW when a ground support personnel was ingested into the engine. The unidentified worker was employed by Piedmont Airlines, which is a subsidiary of American Airlines. So, if you look at an engine, when it's not moving, it's got the little curly Q. That is on there to know if the plane engine is on.
Well, that makes perfectly good sense. I guess it didn't work for this guy, though.
He may not have been present that day or skipped that part of the training
Right.
process.
I wonder what that is.
Dude, I don't even think you probably have time
No, you don't feel anything.
to. And does it? So when I was in high school, we had a family friend that owned a chicken farm, and during chicken harvest season, we would go and he'd pay us, and you make good money, right?
Yeah.
And you load up just the females, you don't load up the males, but you have to kill the males, and you're supposed to pop their necks and throw them in one of the cages, and then they get collected later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes no sense. I'm sorry, cancel me. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the way it worked. Some of us, not me, would throw the chicken into the industrial fan. That chicken into the industrial fan, which are those big. Boom, 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 boom.
No, not me.
Have you seen my throws?
I would never do. Listen, Pepsi bowling champ of the 8th
That's
grade.
not throwing.
You got to throw a ball.
It's rolling.
Whatever. You rolled that rooster on into the fan.
And it kind of like would. The point being is it would stall the fan wouldn't just keep running.
Right.
Right? Like it kind of would. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. See what Lindsay has for balls to the wall sports.
Auburn running back Brian Batty is in critical condition after the shooting in his hometown on Saturday that killed his brother Tommy. Head coach Hugh Freeze said there was a setback on Sunday and that Batty remains on a ventilator. Deputies did respond early Saturday morning where they observed a large crowd with multiple shooting victims. Auburn has released a statement saying it is aware of the incident and still gathering information. Batty was the Tigers' top kick returner last season. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More
To
than
see if it's
Totally.
okay. Let's throw
I
your
didn't say
head
okay.
cocks in the fan. Come on.
This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me, let's have a vacation. Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that
Some
situation.
Yeah.
that maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely. Because once you get back, everything's right there, you know? Yeah.
What are some other
And
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea.
goes
No
on
bad ideas.
Hands and knees and
Begs?
begs. What do you want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it. Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem? Not just this, any scenario, if you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man. You're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner, you know? You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that because, you know, there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
About
going to
myself.
send her on a spa day? I know. I think he needs to go to her and definitely, like, he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think.
What he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
Come on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
What
Don't
she
have sex
wants
with
him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give
yeah.
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Okay.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
Yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted in what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good, how are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. You know, just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time, so I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state, so I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on work, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
And you
took the
came
call
back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back,
No, it's
so
your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right, hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd live here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like, what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're not
let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at that
men.
point, are you, Scott? You're
Well,
Mm-hmm.
until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation. Fruit.
I hear that, like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
Yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
no, I don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh.
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans, Corbin.
I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage. If she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling. Because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do. Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out and doing whatevs, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball, and I'm going to go home, and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake, and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin, and happy 26th birthday to mattress actress Maisie Grace. You can see this Utah girl in hits like Locker Room Lusts. Maisie scissored Serena and Package from Santa. She was recognized as a Best New Starlet nominee in 2019.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. You just got your first keyword to rock the bank. That keyword was green. If you missed it or you didn't get a chance to put it in, that's okay. You still got 8 other chances throughout the day to score yourself $1,000 cash.
All right, we do To Tell the Truth on Tuesdays.
Time to tell the truth. This is your opportunity to ask anything you want. Just remember, keep it clean. No bodily fluids, nothing sexual, and don't forget, we can and will pass on a question. Let's open up the phone lines. Here's Corbin and the gang with all the truth you're going to need.
918-460-KMOD, or you can text BMMS and whatever your question is to 82945. What's something you'd love to get as a gift, but no one would even consider giving it to you because you're an adult?
Something you want as a gift, but nobody give it to you because you're an adult.
Yeah. I'll go first since I'm throwing this on you. A good pair of pruning shears.
Oh. No, honestly, we were at Ace Hardware yesterday and I saw a pair that was $139. I thought, damn, these get expensive. I had no idea they could cost that much.
Gimpy's laughing, and I'm not sure if he's laughing because it's stupid or he would agree.
No, it's a little bit of everything there. I'm so confused right now. Like, the gift because you're an adult, go buy it yourself? Is that what you mean by that?
No, gift, like someone to get. If someone gave me a nice pair of like pruning shears or whatever, that'd be an awesome gift.
Absolutely.
But you said that nobody would give you because you're an adult, and I guess that's where I'm getting hung up on.
Because you wouldn't think about it.
Oh, okay.
No one thinks to give somebody gardening shears.
Yeah, that is a true statement. That is a true statement. Okay.
Damn, that's a good one. I need
You can't pick mine.
I need a new ice maker.
You just bought one. How many have you bought?
No. I bought that thing 3 years ago. It took a dump on me. It's not
3. No.
I think the cooling agent in the back of the machine is dead.
I feel like you just bought that like last year. You lived in the other house. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the fan blows, but it's not pulling the water in to make the ice anymore.
Yeah, so somebody buying you an ice machine would be a gift that
Pretty
no one
awesome.
would think. Okay.
Yeah.
Gimpy?
You know, I'd like to say like a motorcycle or something, but I've been gifted bikes before, so there goes that one. How about a new car? You know, one where the window stays up when it's supposed to, or the air conditioner works.
Is that a problem you're dealing with now?
God damn, yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. A better car. Yeah.
That's not really a problem for you, right?
What, getting new stuff?
No, the window.
No, because I ride my bike most everywhere I go anyway. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. You know, I only ride it or drive my car when it's raining or cold outside or snowing, and the window stays up then, you know. But sometimes it slides down, and I have to be driving down the road, pull my window back up. I thought about taping it shut, but I'm like, I don't know about all that.
For anybody that's feeling bad for Gimpy right now, tell everyone how much you bought that car for, how long ago.
Oh, God, I've had that car for 4 years now, maybe? Ooh. Maybe. Could have been a little bit longer, maybe like 4 to 5. I've had it for a while now.
Is that the car? You had that car after the cooling cup car?
Yes. After my Charger, yes. And that after my divorce, that's when that one went back. So, and then I went a while without one, but then I needed one because, well, you know, bikes in the wintertime. So yeah, I've had it at least 4 or 5 years, and I paid $250 for it.
$250.
Uh-huh.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
That wasn't you. I was describing something.
Right.
If you could pick one food that the other two had to eat on air, what food would you pick?
Easy. For Corbin, okra. Probably fried. And lemon meringue pie for Gimpy.
As long as there's a baby available for me to punch right in the face.
With a big glass of lemonade.
God,
Gimpy?
Freshly squeezed.
No, they've said food, not drinks.
And I also said one thing.
Yeah, I was going to say okra for Corbin as well. But to be different, let's go with fried liver and green peppers. It's a meal. It's a meal. And then for Lindsay, she's getting old Braunschweiger.
Gross.
Yeah. That you have to eat by itself. No crackers, no bread, no nothing. Braunschweiger's not that bad. It's just chock full of iron, vitamins. And, Looks like a horse's.
Have you ever had it with grape jelly?
No.
That's how my dad used to eat it.
No, my dad used to eat it with a block of cheddar cheese, so okay.
So, I'm trying to look for something here. I'm going to pick for Lindsay raw tofu.
Okay. That sounds horrible.
And for Gimpy, where is it? Here it is. Tempeh.
Tempeh? The hell's that?
It's a substitute for tofu. It's made from soy, and it's got lentils and quinoa in it. And it's something vegetarians eat.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Eat for meat.
Looks disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like...
I mean, I could have picked mushrooms easy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm totally putting you in the uncomfortable spot.
Traditional Indonesian food made from fermented soybeans.
Yeah. I've had
Fermented.
it. It's not horrible, but it isn't something you go, man, I could sure go for some tempeh right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Try to give you something you would have never had.
Yeah. I've never have, and I never will unless you force me to eat it. I'm good.
Is it you that doesn't like cilantro?
I've got that weird genetic mutation where it
yeah.
tastes like soap. It's not that I don't like it. I
too
love
bad.
it. It's in the salsa and in tacos and stuff like that. I think it's great, but it just makes it taste like dish soap to me.
Marry, bang, kill Asians, Europeans, and Latinos.
What? What is that one?
Lindsay.
They all have great food. I'm marrying a Latino.
Because?
For the food, the lovin'.
Lovin'?
Yeah, the
What
good
does that
lovin'.
mean? Are Latinos good lovers?
I've heard. But mostly for the food. And since I'm marrying a Latino, I'm gonna have to learn how to do my own nails. So I'm gonna have to kill the Asians, I guess, and bang a European.
Gimpy.
Well, we're killing off the Europeans. Might as well. I got to do something here. And I've always had an affection for the Asians, so that's where I'm torn. Do I just bang the Asians or do I marry the Asians? Okay? I mean, there's the old joke, once you get married, the sex is out. So, okay, I'm going to bang the Asians and then marry the Latinas because, that once in a while sex and the goddamn good food.
Mm-hmm.
Chimichangas all day, every day? Come on.
I'm going to kill a European. I'm going to marry an Asian because Asian women run strong households. And then I'm going to bang a Latino. Are you kidding me?
Have you seen some of those dump trucks on TikTok?
Sofia Varga, right?
Yes.
Selma
Hayek.
Selma Hayek, yes.
Jennifer Lopez.
Okay, I love this one. One thing you appreciate about each other and one thing you change about each other. And I'm going to add something. You can't say something that's already been said.
Oh, damn.
Okay. One thing that I appreciate. I think I appreciate the fact how much Corbin loves his family, and he's a great dad. I would change. I would have him give me some courtesy laughter once in a great while. Same with Gimpy on that.
You want fake laughter?
Yep. Once in a great while.
You want us to lie?
Yeah. I do it for you. And
that was a joke for those who don't know. She just tried to attempt a joke.
What I appreciate about Gimpy, I love our friendship. We have a great bond. He's like a instant brother to me that I've never had. A brother from another mother.
Shucks.
Yeah. I feel our bond is real. Yeah.
Gimpy.
All right, I appreciate Lindsay's singing voice. Skills at a karaoke, for sure. She makes a great partner if she does a song that you know.
It was one time.
That's what they all say. One time, it'll never happen again. One thing I would change about her is the amount of time it takes to tell a story or give an answer, for sure.
And my husband both.
Then for Corbini, that is brutal honesty. I could appreciate that. As much as you don't want to hear it, it is what it is. And then if I was to change anything, you don't have to disagree with everything all the time.
That's not true.
Sure it is.
For Gimpy, I appreciate his herbalist capabilities.
Okay.
If I'm ever stumped on an herbalist situation, I have a go-to. I have a guru. And if what I would change would be his "it hardly matters" attitude.
It doesn't matter my attitude. Come on.
For Lindsay, I appreciate her patience in choosing her words. And what I would change would be Lindsay's patience in choosing her words. To tell the truth, if you retired from radio and decided to become the local weirdo, what weird thing would you do in public to establish your weirdness credentials and acquire a nickname? If you were retired from radio and decided to become the local weirdo, what weird thing would you do in public to establish your weirdness credentials and acquire a nickname?
I would probably pretend everywhere I went was a nudist colony. I'd just be that nude broad. I mean, that girl that walks around naked everywhere she goes? Yeah.
Gimpy?
I would be known as the guy that dry humps emergency vehicles. Anytime there's a fire truck or a police car or an ambulance, boy, you just better keep it steer clear from me because I am rubbing my genitalia on it.
I would be the guy that would wear a banana hammock that cleans car windshields at traffic lights.
Do you climb onto the hood of the car?
Depends on how dirty it is, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you really got to get into it, yeah.
If you could switch bodies with any celebrity, dead or alive, for 24 hours, who and what would you do?
Oh, easy.
Whoever is, Blake Lively. So I could be married to Ryan Reynolds for 24 hours and see if...
Take care of his children. That's what you'd probably do.
Yeah. Yeah. And see if living with him is all that great. If he's on all the time. If he's really that funny all the time. Because if he is, it might get annoying. If he's always on. Yeah, Blake Lively.
Okay. Gimpy.
Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm banging all those young girls, those 24, 25-year-old girls, as many as I can in a 24-hour period. Sometimes 3 or 4 at a time.
I saw that the Victoria's Secret modeling show is finally coming back after, 8-year hiatus. And it made me think of him first. Because...
Did he go a lot?
Well, he dated most of the models that were always in those shows because they're always the youngest ones.
I'm going to pick... That's tough. I'm going to pick Zach Bryan.
Okay, local guy. Why?
Be on stage, everybody loves him, just having the best time.
You only get to do one show.
Okay.
Maybe. Do you get to pick the 24 hours that you're being? Because maybe he's off that day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair question. Yeah.
But it's a good choice. I mean, yeah, solid dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what are the when you make this decision, what are you looking for? Either someone like Lindsay's angle, which was to be near Ryan Reynolds, right? Nothing wrong with that. Mine was like, why wouldn't it would be awesome to be that talented and
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the parameter is that you pick.
That's true. Also, it would be kind of fun to be like someone like Taylor Swift for a day and just to do a show, just to see what that lifestyle is like. To do a show like that exhausting.
Oh, I bet it's crazy. Madness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exhausting. Not that she isn't exhausted, but it's exhausting to us because most of us get winded grabbing the remote.
Right.
Where she's like that individual, even a football player, right? It's normal for you. And I've seen the movie with Elizabeth Hurley, and who knows at what point you become Taylor Swift. And you have to, be smuggled in some box so people don't come after you, or you're with Travis Kelce, which maybe to some of you that would be okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want that moment.
Yeah, do you get to
You
pick?
jump in right at that moment as she's on her back, spread eagle. Yeah.
Or a different moment.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Not World War before.
I'd be Elon Musk and send my real self a ton of money and stock in his companies.
That's a smart move. Until they come
Well,
back the next day and it's like, Elon, why did you send John Smith in Tulsa $5 million?
Yeah. Amber Bezos.
If you could make one person on the planet vomit anytime you wanted, who would you pick and when would you make them vomit? Lindsay.
Oh, the president during a speech when they're on TV. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Except then globally we'd look like more idiots.
True.
And then the stocks would plummet. Yeah, we'd look and feel like,
We already had a barfing president once. George Bush, when he barfed on that, what was it, the Chinese prime minister or something like that back in the 90s?
Senior.
Yeah, senior, yeah.
Good memory. All right, Gimpy.
I'm picking Lindsay. Anytime she opens her mouth, doesn't matter what it's for, whether it's talking, yawning, whatever. If there's a gap in her mouth, out comes the vomit.
I hate puking. I cry every time I do it.
That's funny. That's fun. I'm going to go with, I don't know again, what are the parameters we're picking? President's pretty good. Somebody on the show's pretty good. How about Elon Musk?
Okay.
Because he's just word vomiting anyway. There's another one here. Marry, bang, kill, Ford, Chevy, or Dodge? Lindsay.
Ford, Chevy. I'm marrying Chevy because out of all of those, they last the longest. Killing Ford and and banging a Dodge because I want to get rammed. I mean, why not, right?
I've always been a Mopar guy, a Dodge guy, so I'm going to marry the Dodge for sure. I don't like Fords. I just drive one because it was $250. So we're going to go ahead and kill them off, and I guess I'm going to make sweet love to a Chevy because they all right.
I'm going to go with killing a Dodge categorically, cost the most, constantly in repair. We're not talking about a Ram truck, right? That's different. I'll go with bang a Chevy because Chevys always look good.
It's the chrome tip, isn't it?
And then I'll marry a Ford because it's going to be fixed and repaired daily, so I'm never going to get to hang out with it anyway, so I'm good with that. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning
The
Show.
show have told us they don't get out of their rig. Only to open a gate to get to the dumpster is the only time they get out of their rigs.
I wonder what that day was like when the automated garbage trucks came through, like the day that they got those, or they were told they're getting those, what that day was like.
They probably hated it.
Why?
Because it eliminated jobs.
Oh, that's true. Well, I still see 2 or 3 people in those trucks.
For residential, but for Trashosaurus Rex that picks up the dumpster, it's one person.
Right.
Okay. Kelly Sarber, the president and CEO of Strategic Management Group, again said that we had a woman in New York City mistakenly toss her diamond ring into the trash. She then paid an undisclosed amount of money to have one of the massive barges that took waste from Manhattan to Fresh Kills landfill pulled out of service so the garbage collectors could dig through the thousands of tons of trash until they found it. And they did find her ring. Raccoons. My favorite thing about emptying people's trash is the raccoon surprise. You open the top of a can and stick your hand in to grab the bag, but instead grab a raccoon or 2. I saved a few of those cute little creatures.
Cute. Get out of here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Text came in. I also learned that people tip the trash man with cash and beer.
Nice.
I mean, cash, I've done that. I've tipped the trash people. The problem is they're not always the same people on every route.
Right.
And then, so I'm thinking them, what, for the one time they did? I don't know. But to tip beer, I don't know if they drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're just assuming at that point, and then they take it anyway just because of the gesture. Oh, thanks.
Right,
I'm
and
a
throw it in the
recovering
trash.
alcoholic,
Yeah.
asshole.
They're like the rich people who throw away new shoes.
Right.
Yeah. Brand new electronics. My friend's dad was a garbage man, and when he would pick up from places like Walmart, Best Buy, if they had TVs or PlayStations, any type of electronics, laptops in the garbages, he'd bring them home. He had friends that would fix them, and we'd get new electronics. Not bad.
I've known a lot of people that have done that.
Yeah.
Go dumpster diving and find stereos and TVs and stuff.
Yeah. Hospital biohazard waste. I ran a large trash hauling company in Georgia for 3 years. I can't tell you how many times hospitals threw their bio waste out to save on disposal fees. It got so bad the landfill ended up reporting them to big fines.
In this state, you can take a thing of syringes, and as long as it's in not a Sharps container, but a container that cannot be punctured, like a thing of laundry soap, you can just write Sharps and then throw it in the trash.
Huh. How about that?
Someone texted in, I work for Waste Management. It does happen often. Homeless and crackheads sleep in the cans that I pick up, and it is cray-cray. Yeah. So anyway, one man's trash isn't always another man's treasure.
Overwhelmingly, you gave us garbage. Thought we'd do a little fill-in-the-blank news. I'll read part of a headline, leave part of it out. If you can guess the blank part correctly, good on you. First one, Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll. Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll.
That's fun because they got so many different ones now. They've got prosthetic Barbie. They've got slightly overweight Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie. I'm trying to think of the other Barbies that I've seen at the store. They got a handy-capable Barbie in a wheelchair.
Think it's a transgender Barbie?
Wouldn't surprise me. We'll go with trannies.
If you've seen the movie, you know Kate McKinnon is a breakout character in the movie. Weird Barbie, from the hit movie Barbie, is getting its own doll. The doll, inspired by Kate McKinnon's character, and is complete with a pink baby doll dress, short, spiky blonde hair, and pink and blue highlights, squiggly forehead line, and a circle around her eye. Announcing the doll on Instagram, Mattel wrote, "Barbie knows what it's like to play just a little too much." The Barbie movie has earned more than $1 billion at the global box office, making it the first film solely directed by a woman to ever cross that mark. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins.
I saw this and I thought, okay, come on now.
Well, I have no idea what we're talking about, so
In
good number of things. Marvel Barbie themed.
You nailed it. Nailing the coffin.
Ruins the
What would
entire
you-
time limit that we have
What
left
would
here.
you want your coffin to look like?
Not Barbie.
Well, Neither would I, but that's what people are supposedly paying for. Barbie,
But you're not
pink.
Barbie fans.
I am.
Right.
I love Barbie. But
Sure. Do you have anything Barbie themed in your home?
No.
Okay, then
Absolutely
you're.
not.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is that it would have to be something you're a diehard for.
Right. Mine be like cannabis themed or something like that. PlayStation.
Barbie Mania continues to sweep the world. One funeral home in El Salvador has boarded the Barbie bandwagon in a big way. The Alpha and Omega Funeral Home in Achapan is offering a pink Barbie-themed coffin for people who want to take their obsession with pop culture sensation to the afterlife. Each of the metal caskets is decorated with stars and features lining imprinted with pictures of Barbie. One of the spokespeople says, we have to jump on this trend, adding he's already sold 10 of the coffins. It's been a success. The coffin is the latest bizarre Barbie merchandise to be released in Latin America, which has also seen products such as Barbie lunchboxes, pink tacos and pastries, and even Barbie-themed airplanes. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank.
Drive. Right. That's every state. Can't honk their horn. Okay. Yeah, noise ordinance. Can't get out of your car with a can of spray paint and spray paint the person behind you.
Can't pass other drivers. Can't use the express lane.
Okay. All those sound like good ideas.
New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. where drivers can't pump their own gas.
Huh.
It comes as lawmakers in Oregon voted to end the ban on self-serve gas, and Governor Tina Kotek signed off on it, ending the state's 72-year ban. Gas stations across New Jersey have pushed for lawmakers to lift the ban, which has been in effect since 1949. They say self-serve gas would allow them to lower the price.
Absolutely, yeah. I wonder why that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought, those days of somebody else having gas station attendants were pretty well over.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in forever.
There's one here in town.
Is there?
Yeah, Reed's over
on...
on...
yeah, Reader's over there off 15. Okay. But it costs you extra. And
of course it does.
I don't like it, yeah.
Blank are coming to Jeopardy! Good morning, it's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Scarlett Johansson is suing OpenAI's ChatGPT. She's saying that they approached her to be the voice of it in this new incarnation. Now, if you don't know, Scarlett Johansson is the voice in the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix, where she plays an AI female. And in it, there's a line where he's like, how many people are you dating? And she's like, 2,523.
Oh, gosh, she's a whore.
Because she's a chat bot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And she told them when they asked her, no. Well, then this ChatGPT comes out with their new incarnation, and it sounds eerily similar to Scarlett Johansson, to the point that people and to me, this is this could be the silver bullet for her case.
Okay.
That people contacted her asking her why she did this.
Why she did
the ChatGPT thing.
Okay.
They believed it was her.
That it was so, okay.
It was so close to her. Mm-hmm. She said close people to her.
Okay.
Contacted her asking her. Not just one, not just two, but multiple people had.
Okay.
And Sam Altman, the creator, CEO of ChatGPT, has a massive fascination with the movie Her.
Okay.
And has said that there were a lot of things the movie Her got right.
Okay.
And so it wouldn't be on the realm of possibility for him to go, we'll just do what we want.
Right. But that doesn't make it legal, though.
No.
Not at all.
She has sued numerous people for using her likeness.
As she should be able
to sell their products or to market it.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT has said that, no, the woman we used is someone we approached in the beginning and then went to Scarlett Johansson. And when she said no, we went back to that person. Well, then was she that other person your first choice?
Right. Apparently not. You know, that's like, all right, I'm going to sit with this fat girl for a little while until a pretty one comes along, and then the pretty one turns you down, so you go back to the fat chick. Come on.
For those that don't know, they say that ChatGPT is worth $80 billion.
Wow.
So even if it paid her $100 million, which is a lot of money, she would be okay. She'd probably forget about it, I would think.
Yeah, she probably could. For that much money, I know I could forget about it. Go ahead.
Her
Use
net
my
worth
voice.
is only $165 million.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and pad that net worth a little bit? Let them use your voice and your likeness and get some cash out the deal. Or you could sue them and get them for everything they got. And now Scarlett Johansson now owns OpenAI.
I think the thing that she might be worried about is she doesn't want people making her say things that she doesn't want to say.
Exactly.
That is, yes.
As simple as I love you to as complicated as who knows
Yeah.
that I'm not going to say.
I could see that. I could see why that could be a cause for concern. Unfortunately, though, there are deep fakes out there already. I don't know about Scarlett Johansson, but just I know that there are deep fake videos out there. So who's to say it's not happening already anyway?
Right, but there's a difference of I don't know who to chase and I know who to chase.
Right.
That's the problem is that if you can get out in front of it, why not get out in front of it?
Yeah. But if you could make a deal to where, you get paid like royalties, right? You get paid every time your voice is used. Then why not make a business deal out of it? Okay. You want to use my voice for this or that or whatever it is. Licensing on your voice, I guess, is the way it would be. Then go ahead and do that and make some money off of it.
Because I think the difference, again, is that you're not licensing me to say, McDonald's every time.
Right.
You're licensing me to say anything, even if I'm, vehemently against okra.
Right.
And then you get me to say, I love okra, which wouldn't be the thing. It would be way more nefarious than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Then, how do you put a value on that?
Right.
It's like I'll do a scene, but a nude scene costs more.
Right.
Because there's, more jeopardy in that.
Right.
So how do you put a value? I don't know. You can't. You have to sign it and go, it is what it is. Or after you die, you will pay me until I die. And then when I die, you can use it.
Okay.
Because then people know I'm not alive.
Right.
People know I didn't say it.
And then they would know that, that makes sense. That actually wouldn't be a bad deal. I think that makes the most sense out of all of it.
Right. You pay me to not use my voice, and then when I die, my voice is yours. Have at it. But that means they're going to recoup their money.
Right.
In any way possible. Remember when TomTom navigation allowed you to purchase Snoop Dogg, I think even Gordon Ramsay maybe.
Samuel Jackson, yes.
As the voice.
Yeah, Homer Simpson.
One, I don't think I know anybody that had a TomTom guidance system, but I don't know anybody that bought to use those, because you had to buy an add-on, if I remember correctly.
I had the, was it Garmin? Was that?
Yeah, Garmin's a big name, yes.
Yes, I had one of those, and you could get voices for it, celebrity voices.
Did you have to pay an additional for them?
I do believe you did have to. And I did have
Wow,
one.
you paid for one.
I did.
Well, yeah, if you can get Sam Jackson.
And I think it was Samuel Jackson. And it was only for maybe a month. So it was really cheap, like $1.99 or something like that. Because you only had it for a limited time. And Morgan Freeman was also available. But I was like, there's no way, because it would put me to sleep.
That would be fantastic. What you want to do here is make a left.
Exactly.
After the light.
Exactly.
And after you make a left, you drive 300 feet and make another right.
Right. But they're getting paid for that.
Right.
I said turn the mother lover car.
Exactly.
Did Sam Jackson swear?
Yes. That's what was so great about
That's
it.
interesting.
That's the best part, yeah.
That's interesting.
That's what was so great about it.
Yeah, I never, like, buying ringtones and stuff, I was like, I'm not buying that. Like,
Oh, yeah. I
same
never
with
did.
a guided, I don't even like the voice in it in navigation anyway.
But who's the guy that had patented his saying for, and I'm just going to use one word and you'll know exactly what I'm saying.
You go ahead and say it.
Rumble.
Yeah, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Buffer.
Yes. So you're not supposed to be allowed to say that because that's his phrase.
You're not allowed to say it in the manner of which he says it.
Right.
So if somebody used AI to say that in that manner, using Scarlett Johansson's sounding voice, could she get in trouble for it?
I mean, I think you could definitely, that's a part of the thing she just doesn't want to be associated
yeah.
with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She doesn't want to be a part of those precedents.
Yeah.
But, like, you can say dynamite, but if you say dynamite, like what's his name did,
JJ, yeah.
Yeah.
then that's an issue. Same thing with let's get ready to rumble. If I say we're going to play this game, let's get ready,
Yeah.
then that is where the problem is.
Okay.
But I can say let's get ready to rumble to use him as the example. I'm giving him credit.
Right.
But if I wind up and go, "Lur,"
Yeah.
not okay.
Right.
That's where they have the issue. Sidebar, we don't care about it with the Super Bowl.
True that.
We don't care about it with the Final Four. Now, our company makes us not say those words, but we use it in everyday vernacular. Why is it okay to, like, you were self-editing? This is just a philosophy question.
Yeah.
You were self-editing to not say, let's get ready to rumble. But you say and throw Super Bowl around like there's no concern at all.
Sure.
Right, when they
Why?
both have the same repercussions, yeah.
They're both words you're not supposed to be saying that are patented.
Well, Super Bowl is when if it's a contest or
No,
something like
no,
that.
we talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anytime that game's around, you're not supposed to mention it at all whatsoever. Now, I don't know if it's like year-round, but especially during that time of the year, we're not supposed to. The big game.
You're not supposed to. If you think it's only during that time of the year, try to have a Super Bowl event in August. See how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, you were using it in the same context as in, like, in a news story, like we were talking about information. I'm just, it's interesting how people are so, I can't say let's get ready to rumble, but you'll throw other words that are also patented around.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was more of like for contesting, stuff like that for the game.
Typically they go after, but if we made a promo with Michael Buffer's thing in it,
Yeah.
we would 100% get popped.
Yep.
Hell, we barely play a song that we're not supposed to, and we get threatened with the lawsuit.
Didn't even know we weren't supposed to play it.
Didn't even know we played it.
Right.
Yeah.
18 years of doing this, I'm going to forget a lot.
For real.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show is coming right back. The Big Mad Morning Show. Tulsa's Rock Station 97.5 KMOD. KMOD Total Traffic Network.
The show Dexter, it was like he was almost like the good bad guy because he was taking out bad people.
No, Dexter was a horrible person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. That instead of
Yes.
robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people.
Uh-huh.
Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some of them.
Bumped into me at the grocery store.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Some of them, sure, but not all of them.
Oh, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery
dare you
store.
take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the three basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years.
Okay.
Right?
Alrighty then.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Chiffres et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
he owed.
He like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though, for a game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up, you know. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
And that makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel, earn points.
It's
Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change. But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity tip, whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah. Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why like Pyramid and like it runs its exhaustion level. That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like quote unquote you win.
Right. It gives you hope
Absolutely.
and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through and recruit people, and then how many people from here actually get on the show? Not very many, if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like they tried because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum, which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're like, that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses.
In California.
In anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to any hotel, you're not gonna, even if you're gonna stay at the Comfort Inn.
Right.
And if you are, it's still $200. You're there a week. That's $1,000. It doesn't matter where it's at. You ain't staying at the Sunnyside Inn with the satellite dish painted yellow.
Right. With all the crackheads and whores.
Well, I mean, you can get that anywhere, any hotel, right? I saw this story circulating today about TikTok doctors warning the number one position for penile fractures. Number one, 50. I want to make sure I get that. I would hate to fumble this. It's the most dangerous sex position, according to science. It's the cause of 50% of penile fractures. 50.
That's a lot.
So of all the penile fractures that happen, half are because of this sex position. What do you think, Lindsay?
Doggy style.
Okay, Gimpy?
I am going to say it is the reversed cowgirl.
It is the reverse cowgirl.
Which is my favorite by far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them are good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even plain old vanilla is good.
Yeah. Yeah. The line of great is pretty thin from a guy's standpoint.
Right. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because they're not looking and paying attention. But are you really looking and paying attention even if you're facing forward? You know what I mean?
There's obviously no bones inside a penis. So it's a tear in the frenulum or the tunica albuginea.
Sure.
This is a rubbery sheath of tissue that allows for the penis to do what it does best. Is that what you had in mind?
No.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
Well, I learned to, let's see here. Learn to be careful what you ask for in life because you might find yourself getting cucked in the corner. And I also learned that we went from watching coffee drip on webcams to watching people drip on webcams.
I learned Gimpy isn't the local weirdo that does that weird thing in public to establish weirdness credentials to get a weird nickname.
Right.
And I also learned Gimpy says to Bill Cosby, your lady, to get her to do a threesome. It's Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher is loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Can I get an encore?
Yeah.
How would you know you have a fractured penis?